right, all right, all right. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Marie. Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you very much, Queen Marie Pendy. Really appreciate. Thank you very much. That was an awesome intro and welcome to all our wonderful kings and queens in the house. Really do appreciate, really do appreciate. I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. It has been a wonderful week last week, and it has, okay, wonderful. It has been a wonderful week last week, and it is the closing moments of this month. And so we just want to thank you all for joining us. Those that are on YouTube and other varied uh, social media platform, we just want to thank you for joining us and welcome, 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 near and far, welcome. Those who are joining live, welcome. Those who will be watching in the future, welcome, 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 welcome. We thank you all very much. We are going to get the official welcome now by Queen Marie Pendy. Over to you.
Good morning, afternoon, and good evening. My name is Marie Pendy, and I am joining from the great state of Virginia, USA. I have gone around and acknowledged everybody. If I didn't, shout out to you loud for making it here. We do, we at the Dream Team appreciate your presence. We are going to have a great show tonight, this afternoon, wherever you are. We can't wait to hear our guest speaker. Shout out to everybody who made it. 25 of us this webinar. Thank you so much, Dr. Clark, and I'll hand it next to you. Greetings.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Really appreciate it, Queen Marie Pendy. And moving right along, we are going to get right into our theme song. And this theme song, of course, is none other than our one and only own international singing recording artist, Queen Lerato Shadare. And we thank her very much. Absolutely, very much. Even though at this time she's not in the best of health, we do send prayers for her that she will have a speedy recovery. And so, without any further ado, we will be going right into the theme song, which is In It to Win It. And this is with none other than our own Queen Lerato. What will be featured in the video is our marketing strategy that we have already gone into. And take a look at what is there and what is in store for our marketing campaign.
We are here, we are on passive, shining Your next stop is on Passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Thank you very much, Queen Lerato Shadare. Really do appreciate. Thank you ever so much. And moving right along as we get into this afternoon's program here on Dream Team on this wonderful last Sunday of the first month of the year 2025. And it's good that all of us are still alive, vertical and mobile. So we thank you all very much for joining us. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to the moderator to continue with the program.
Thank you very much, Dr. Derek. Greetings, everyone. Hello to everybody. I hope you can hear me. Just please forgive me if there's any background noise. Just accept it for what it is. I will be co-moderating with our other sisters, Sister Irene and Sister Kanda, if she's available. But Sister Irene, I see her in the house. It's a beautiful Sunday morning for some people. Me, greetings for the house. And it's such an honor that we are together today. We are following what Dr. Derek shared earlier, that we're on the last Sunday of the first month of 2025. And we're going to start or continue with what you just heard, the beautiful voice in it to win it. We're going to continue the webinar with a mindset. The mindset is what the webinars will stress out. It is not just what we do, but what we think, what we believe, and what we feel we should be. And this is the time for us to hear that as we prepare for the day or for the webinar today. And I'm going to pause here and call on our mindset speaker today to share with us how we can be ready to receive the message that our brother is here to share with us. Again, once more, we appreciate you with us, and we hope that you have your ears ready to hear about the mindset from one of the Dream Team leaders. Thank you so much, and I'll pause here and pass it over to our mindset speaker team. Thank you.
Oh, Happy New Year again. Hi, Queen Debbie, and hi, beautiful people. Hi, Dr. Derek, and all the leaders on this platform. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us. I hope you're actually having a blessed day. So, two people that spoke before me sort of highlighted the fact that this is our last meeting before the end of January, and that we have basically gone to the end of the first month. We have gone to the end of the first month, and January, somebody told me that January is the month that is light to the most. I mean, I don't want people to show up by to show up by raising their hands or anything, but how many of us actually told a lie this January? I'm not talking about trying to get yourself out of trouble somewhere, but one of the main lies that we tell ourselves in January is that on the 1st of January, we make some real solid resolutions. And those resolutions, we make them on the 2025 or whatever the year is going to be. I'm going to do X, Y, or Z or Z, wherever you. And then we try, the first couple of days, and life starts setting in. And by the end of January, most of those things are on the way or on the side. The question is, when we lie, whether it's a little lie or whatever, who do we lie to the most? We, in reality, we lie to ourselves. And so when we have come to the end of January and I look back and I said, oh, I had promised that this year I was going to do this or do that or do that. And then I get to a point that I have sort of looked back and realized, was that just something I did to please myself or something that I really wanted to do? We get to this point where we can actually start feeling sorry for ourselves. Or sometimes we may not be sorry for ourselves. And this brings me like to the second thing that I want us to think about it. Who's ever been sorry? I think if each and every one of us answers that question, I think would sort of raise your hand and said, I've been sorry at one point or the other. And the question is, who are you sorry to? Are you sorry to yourself? Are you sorry that you got caught doing something? Are you sorry because you actually let someone down? I don't know. You different things that we can actually end up being sorry for. If in most of the cases you are sorry because you got caught or because you failed somebody, there is a different feeling, completely different. Because if I were caught doing something and I say I'm sorry, it could just mean that I am sorry that, oh, I got caught. But if I hurt you and I say I am sorry, it's the same word, but they mean completely two different things. So if you find yourself, like many of us, at the end of January, and you realize that what you had set out to do for 2025, you have basically, for lack of a better word, failed to do it, I don't want you to start dwelling in what I call a godly sorry, which is that sorry where I am sorry because I got caught. Because when we put ourselves in those situations of what I call a worldly sorry, it sometimes leads us into a guilt. And from those guilts, we could then, as human beings, we start trying to look for ways out. And in most cases, those guilts, because of the way that we as humans are shaped to deal with things, we start rationalizing. Oh, I didn't do this because this came up, or I didn't actually achieve my goal because of this, or I had this other person who interfered, and therefore you start giving reasons why we did not succeed. And then at some point, we get to a point that we believe in our own reasons, and they begin to actually bring us what I'll call quote unquote spiritual death, because now you don't feel those guilt anymore. I am not as bad as him. I am not as bad as her. You know, those type of attitudes start to manifest themselves, and we away from those goals that we had set for ourselves. And even those of us who probably were strong enough to have accountability partners, we start becoming compliant in the sense that when we have that person in our presence, we would try to do the right thing in their eyes, and not necessarily because it's what is right, but because we're trying to please somebody. Just think about it this way. When was the last time you were driving down a highway and a police officer was standing by the side of the road and you see everybody all of a sudden slam on their brakes? Every person who has a driver's license and they're driving, they know that going above the speed limit is not the right thing. Yet we all do it until we come across this obstacle, this police officer or some bump in the road, and we slam on our brakes because our mindsets have basically taken us to that point where we just compliant, and as soon as we go around the corner and that person is no longer seeing us, there goes our foot on the pedal again, and we go back to our old skills. What I just want to say is we don't want to say, okay, I tried, I give up because I did not succeed. But let's think about it in, again, trying not to be too biblical, in a godly, sorry way. What does that mean? It means then that we have realized that we did not actually hit the bull's eye because we cannot. Even if you think about it, there is none of us who can say they never sinned. And there is no way that we can avoid doing those type of things. It's in humans' nature. We born sinners. Therefore, we need to actually, instead of being sorry for ourselves that we did not achieve some of those things that we set up to achieve for 2025, we need to take a step, we need to really take a pause. We need to do a self-reflection, and we need to look at what it is that we set out to do. And I think I heard preacher say that when it comes to decisions that we make in life, there are two types of decisions. One of them is what they call a judicial decision. Just think about it. When the judge has sentenced you, that decision is final. They hit their gavel on the desk and you're done. It's a one-time done thing. And I think most of the decisions that we make in life, we tend to make them in that manner. I've done it. I've made my decision on January 1st, and then I hope that that decision is done final. And then when I don't achieve it, I said, okay, time for me to think about another one because this one is gone. The other type, which is what I would encourage us to build as a mindset, is that which they describe as a relational decision. That is a decision that is ongoing. A decision that you are going to be taking the baby steps each day, recognizing that we as humans, we can never achieve perfection, but that if we keep moving one step at a time, we're going to go to a point where we would start setting the rationalizations aside. We will start not only relying on being compliant when we come across those checks and balances, but then we start to internalize what this decision is because those baby steps have actually built up into a change in ourselves. And when we do it that way, we internalize those changes and our lives begin to change towards that direction which we wanted to go. You might have set up to lose 20 pounds or 10 pounds or 5 pounds. You're not going to lose them in one day. You're going to be losing like little grams here and there. And by little actions that we do, we build that mindset. Is the same as somebody going to the gym to exercise. They don't go into the gym day one and come out with 6 packs and very solid muscles. You build them up gradually. And it does take time. But the good news is that once we internalize and we believe in what it is that we're doing, and we get those baby steps, success comes our way. So if we look at it two ways, in unpassive, we know we have a CEO who's basically internalized where the end goal of this company is. And along the way, we have encountered all those bumps and so on. And it would have been very easy to rationalize, blame, and point fingers and whatever, and say, okay, You know, I had 5 darts. I threw them at the dartboard and I missed the target. So that's done. Let me go and think about another sport. Or you roll up the sleeves and say, okay, I still see the long-term vision. I'm going to take baby steps. It may take me longer than the way that I thought it was going to be, but I am in it till the very end. So if we take this bigger dream and we apply it to things that we have decided we're going to do for ourselves individually during 2025, I don't want any of us to feel sorry at the end of January because we didn't start or that we haven't succeeded, but that we should just think now that maybe, just maybe, that was a judicial decision that we made on the 1st of January. And what we need to do is our mindsets and make those decisions, rational decisions, which means you have an end goal and you keep reminding yourself about those decisions on an ongoing basis. And that way, whether it is your health, your wealth, your relationships that you want to create with your loved ones, it all takes work to actually achieve them. And all we need to do is keep working on them day by day, and success will be ours. Thank you for spending your time to hear my voice. And I hope that you got one thing from this that you may take away and help you during the course of the day. I'll stop here and hand you back to our moderators.
Wow, Dr. John. I was going to pretend because I thought my sister will say a word today. I didn't want to mention your name. I knew you were, but yes, the New Year wishes. And we all, that's such a powerful mindset because for the New Year wishes, we all lie to ourselves. And we believe that we can do a lot of, but start from somewhere, as you rightfully say, the baby steps, you cannot get anywhere. And this is the right time. And that's the best mindset that I think I would love to hear as we're rounding up our webinar for the month of January, the first month of 2025. So those with the baby steps, as you rightfully say, and how do we get that for our mindsets to get to how we handle our work, our health, and relationships with one another, be it our peers, families, or people who are unrelated to us, especially out of your immediate circle. We can go anywhere beyond that. And in terms of our wealth, our CEO is working on that. So we have to work on the mindset on our own. And the relationships is we have built, that I feel we have built over the years from this platform and all its sister platforms. And in terms of our brother is here to talk to us about that, our health as the year begins this month, the pinnacle of your health, not just in 2025, but beyond. How are we going to handle that as we prepare to wait for the world that has been promised to us, or as we prepare to deal with our individual relationships with our immediate families and our workplaces, our neighbors and churches and all the social forums that we belong to? So what I'm saying here is I'm going to call now the next section. We're calling on our guest speaker who is not a stranger to us, but a wonderful brother who has dedicated a lot of his time during the course of the last couple of years, educating and training, teaching and sharing with us in our unpassive life. And that person is none other than Brother Jeffrey Morlock, who is here to share with us how we can stay healthy, in 2025. And please, if you haven't heard him talk about healthy issues, this is the right time to have a notebook and take down notes, and you can ask questions at the end of his presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to call on our brother, Jeffrey. We welcome you. We thank you for being with the Dream Team on a regular basis, anytime we call to, and we appreciate. So I'll pause here and pass the microphone back to you. I'm using a cell phone and cannot see if everyone is in the house because my phone is not showing everybody. I'm trying to adjust. Dr. John, is Brother Jeffrey in the house?
I cannot see him yet at the moment.
I'm sorry.
I saw him earlier. I don't know where he.
Yeah, but he was in, and then I'm just scrolling through.
I don't believe he is because I don't see him either. This is Yvonne.
Yeah, he was in, and then he dropped out somehow.
Okay. Sister Yvonne, did he sign in? Because I cannot see much from my phone.
No, I've gone through the participants and I do not see him, Sister Debbie.
It's not in at the moment.
Okay. I have to go off camera and check my computer, which is in a different location.
Absolutely.
So
Sister.
I'll
Yes.
pass it over to Dr. Benny. Please, Dr. Benny. I'll be back.
Thank you, Sister.
Hi, Dr. Benny. Let me take 1 minute to welcome some people who came in, then I'll hand it back to you.
Oh, no problem.
Just appreciating their presence.
It's okay. Proceed, please.
Welcome to our Dream Team webinar. We have some people who came in that I just have to acknowledge. Halton from USA. There's a DR or doctor without aim. Let's shout out to Grace and give a huge shout out to Harold Bethany. And let's give a shout out to Matt, Tariq, Anan, Lana, Kata. Shout out to you all. Nancy, Judice, Olive from cell phone, Priscilla Cook from the United Kingdom, Theda King. Shout out to you. Naden Campbell, Dr. Nadu Lawson, shout out to you. Joanne Patsy, shout out to you. Sister Irene Ekwede, shout out to you. Dr. Benedict Ntinglet, shout out to you. And shout out loud to Sister Jane Francis and Bridget Nkamsi. Shout out to you all. My loud shout out goes all the way to Lagos. Aisha Ndanusa, on all the people, all the founders who are in Nigeria, shout out to you all. Over to you, Dr. B. Ntinglet.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Greetings. Most of the time, while waiting for our brother Jeffrey to come back, I also want to say thank you all. Thank you all for coming. Happy Sunday of this 2025 to all my queens and kings around the globe. Most of the time I'll say, it is so wonderful to see many familiar faces joining this astonishing webinar called the Dream Team. You guys notice that it is important for you all to come and attend this webinar for a reason. We are all here to learn from each other. It is important, right? God brought all of us here this afternoon, evening, or morning. It all depends upon your location. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, King Carlton. While we're waiting, we know that health is so important to each and everyone. I noticed that some of we do have, let's say our brand ambassadors, they come here and teach us about health. They tell us, don't eat this, don't eat that. There was a time that they say I did not eat a certain type of food. I was crying. You see, like crayfish, they don't also eat that. They said, don't drink this type of water. I said, how about I drink essential? Dr. Derry said, I should not drink that water because, well, I told him that the pH level was 9.5. He made me to understand that it's too much. I should not drink that. So I don't really understand. When it comes to health, I think when Brother Jeffrey comes back, when he gets back, we should please pay attention. Do you guys know why they're teaching us health? Or let me say he's coming here to present health because he wants to prepare us for when the dollars come, right? Right, Calvin? Yes. You know, you have to eat well. Take good care of yourself based on the mindset as well, right? Mindset is going to teach you how you're going to be managing your money, right? Oh my goodness. While we're waiting, do you guys have any question for our Dr. John? All right.
Greetings. Oh, there's a hand raised. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, yes. Could you please unmute yourself, Dr. Imelda Tinglet, and Happy New Year.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Meldon Tinglet. I want to appreciate each and every one of you. I just saw something flash on my screen, and my sister, Dr. Benny, sent me this invite. But I want to come here to say Happy New Year to you all. I haven't been with you all for a while, but when she sent it in one platform, I said, well, let me chime in and see what's happening here. But nonetheless, I want to say Happy New Year, and just to say and echo what was discussed earlier by a doctor regarding your mindsets, how you make conscious decisions to shift from what you're expecting and to be able to accommodate what's happening. I want to just echo on that and say it's a matter of you and everybody else around you being able to be conscious of what your goals are. If you've set your goals for this year, let's suppose, like he made as an example, to do one thing, make sure you make all arrangement, make all the considered effort to see how you can be able to attain that particular goal. A lot of us during the beginning of the year, we decide to say we will make a conscious decision and a judicial one. I recall he talked about a judicial decision to say we will lose certain number of pounds during the year, and or we're going to do this to strive to better ourselves. Let's take the baby steps that are necessary towards accomplishing that goal. Derailing from that decision, it's very common. It's a common practice amongst all of us. We make such decisions. We don't come up with all the milestones that need to be accomplished during that period to ensure that your goal is ultimately achieved is the way that we've been doing things. Then I'm encouraging and or echoing or buttressing what was said, that we should shift our mindsets to place them in a position where we will be capable of attaining all the goals that we want. We have to do this with a lot of agility and flexibility. Yes, you might be very rigid in a decision that you've made, but know very well that life doesn't go that way. It's the same thing that has happened with our business on passive. Remember, our CEO is there at this point. You and I cannot say with any degree of certainty what is going on in his mind, but I know, like you and I and everybody else knows, he's doing his best. Considering how humanitarian he is, he's doing everything to see that his original intentions are it's come to tell you and I that let's keep our mind open and flexible to be receptive of some of these changes when they come up. Don't just go around bickering about it, because it's not going to help. If for some reason your goal that you have decides it's been decided upon not to follow the path that it was, hey, make yourself comfortable to adjust to the scenario as is. And when you do that, you will be able to maintain as well as sustain, as well as exude a healthy lifestyle, as opposed to downing yourself, being downcasted, or being, not happy with the situation. No, adjust to suit what that particular situation is. And this is all I'm here to contribute. I hope it helps. Again, incorporate some flexibility in everything that you're doing. Make sure that you are able to adjust and adapt as things happen. But one thing you want to take as a key takeaway, so far as our experiences have been since 2018, and also during the inception of OnPassive, is the fact that you've been able to garner this relationship with so many people across the entire world. Just the fact that you can stand there and be able to say, if somebody talk about Mr. Kamal, you are able to relate and or associate to whoever that is, Marty DeGarmo or Dr. Benny or whoever. To me, that's more vital. That's more important than, quote unquote, the money that we are expecting and we were hoping to get. I value the relationship more. I value the many people that I've been able to interact with. I value the exposure. I value even the trainings that we've gotten. I know Dr. Derek has gone without failure, in making sure that these webinars are being held. And each time I jump in, nobody knows that I'm in, but I jump in and I learn one thing or the other. That's what we need to continue doing, even if whatever our ultimate goal is doesn't reach fruition. The fact that we continue to maintain our discussions to help each and every one of us get to know each other, get to strengthen our lives, I believe that we should support that the most, and continue to be each other's keeper. Thank you so much for listening. My name again is Dr. Imelda Tinglet.
Thank you, Dr.
Wow,
Tinglet.
wow.
Very well said. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Imelda and Tinglet. We appreciate you. Happy New Year to you and your entire family. Thank you so much for your support. And you make us to understand that let us keep our mind for those changes that are coming back based upon our CEO. We do understand that a lot of our brand ambassadors or affiliates, they do sit and complain all the time. Yes, I noticed that. By them complaining is because they don't know what OnPassive is all about, or should I, since we know that OnPassive is an IT company that deals with artificial intelligence and machine learning, information technology, a software development company, a lot of them don't really know Dr. Imelda. I believe that is why they complaining, or because at first we were expecting to receive that money on time, but they don't understand what transpired and they keep complaining. But as you said, we should come here and learn from each other. And you also said that you value the training that we have gotten, especially noticing how Dr. Derry comes here and teach us and the rest of our brand ambassador. Thank you so much, Dr. Imelda Tinglet. We appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Thank you. All right. While we're still waiting for Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, I just want to emphasize that healthy eating is essential for maintaining our overall well-being and promoting what a high quality of life, right? So when it comes to the high quality of life, let's talk about the physical health, nutritional supply. So which is a balanced diet that provide what? The nutrients your body needs to function optimally, to include, which include vitamins. A lot of us, we eat vitamins, right? We take vitamins. Some people don't want to eat that much because they want to sleep, so they just take vitamins. Minerals and micronutrient like what? Carbohydrate, proteins, and fat. Then we have something like disease prevention when it comes to health, right? Healthy eating reduces the risk of chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and certain cancers. A lot of our brand ambassadors, they have cancer. But the only thing that we have to do is to pray. We only have to pray. That's it. We pray that the Lord will help them. But it all depends upon them. You know, you need to have faith, right? If you have faith and you believe that something is going to happen to you when it comes to your health, it will come to pass. You have that hope. You have the believe. So by us talking about, we do talk about strong immune system. Proper nutrition support what? A robust immune system, helping your body to fight off the infections, recover more quickly from illnesses. And then something we'll talk about what? Energy and productivity. A nutrient-rich diet provide what? A sustained energy throughout the day, helping you stay alert and focus, right? And focus. Poor eating habits like consuming excessive sugar, processed food, that can lead to energy crashes and fatigue. What I have noticed in this country, right? Um, a lot of some people who try to lose weight, they will go to McDonald's, buy the biggest hamburgers, and then a Diet Coke. Do you think it works? It doesn't make sense at all. I'm serious. Then we talk about mental health. Healthy food, particularly those rich in omega-3, antioxidant, and vitamin B, support what? It support the brain, the health, and it can improve mood and reduces what? The risk of depression and anxiety. So a balanced diet positively impact cognitive functions and memory and emotional resilience. Then we have healthy weight management, a diet based on food, lean protein, healthy fat, fibers, what? It helps to maintain healthy weight and it prevents obesity related to health issue. You have long-term longevity, right? Consistently eating healthy diet can increase life expectancy. I would try to do that, right? Queen Avon Finn. It reduces the risk associated with aging, such as osteoporosis, high blood pressure, and cognitive decline. Then you have improved digestion, which eating a variety of fruits. Fruits like what? Mangoes, avocado, right?
Citrus
Pineapples.
and watermelon and all those, yes.
Vegetables and fibers. You know, we have eat vegetables as well, which are rich in fibers and which it will promote. Oh, great. Dr. Patient is here. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Sorry
Greetings,
for the
Dr.
delay.
Patient.
I just spoke with Brother Jeffrey. He's going to be in momentarily.
All right,
He's
thank
so
you.
apologetic.
Yeah,
Okay, I think anyway, he's going to join us very soon. So
thank you,
people
sister.
continue sharing until he joins us. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm behind the camera today as well. Okay, then.
Thank you.
All right, continue, Dr.
Dr. P, thank you so much. Right, we talked about what? The mental health, right? Which is
we
the
did.
balance, impact of cognitive functions, memories, and emotional resilience.
Yes.
Hey, a lot of us, I believe, as Dr. John, I know that I can believe, but he says something about a lot of people want to lose weight, right? Some of us will promise, and it is very difficult to lose that weight. So a diet based upon whole food, lean protein, healthy food, fibers, it helps to maintain the healthy weight, and it prevents what? Obesity related to health issue. Then we talk about improved digestion, eating a variety of that fruit, okay, the vegetable, fibers, and rich food, which it promotes healthy gut microbiome, improving our digestion and nutrient absorption.
Sorry to interrupt, Dr. Benny. I think
He's here?
I think he's just entered. I saw it.
Great. Brother Jeffrey Morlock, we are waiting. Thank you so much. Well, while I see his face, I'm waiting. Yes, he comes. Thank you.
Hello. I am so sorry, guys. Man alive. You know what? I was talking to the wife about this last night, and we got busy. My wife loves holidays, and every holiday she's out with the old and in with the new. And today we got rid of winter and we're going into Valentine's. So we were working with I took all the dogs to the farm. Dr. P, thank you so much for calling me. I'm just getting situated here. I was excited about you guys' webinar, and I am so sorry I did not show up when I promised you I would. Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
You are forgiven.
Thank you.
Welcome. Back to you.
So how's everything going? Everybody good to go?
Yes, please. Welcome again. We are so pleased to meet you, and we are thrilled. So proceed.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Today's topic was health. The pinnacle of health. I'm getting my head back into gear here. Sorry about that. What a great time for this topic. I don't know who came up with it, but spot on, whoever did, because it's very relevant. It's appropriate for the time that we're going to, and we are in. I say this is the beginning of as Mr. Trump says, a golden age. It's we're moving into 2025 so rapidly, and there are so many advancements and things going on that will affect us personally and globally. And I think we're in this exciting time. So, exploring the pinnacle of health, the lifestyle, right, or that is involved with that is actually talking about something like holistic and well-being, right? And I'm excited. There's lots of evidence out there today as evidence-based strategies can help us basically to optimize every aspect of the health journey that we're all on, each and every one of us. You guys have heard me talk about this before, especially with the new herbs and spices that I've kind of sidelined on my YouTube channel because not a lot going on with on passive on the surface, right? Out in the open. There's a lot of covert things happening in the background with regulatory things and stuff. So I thought, this is going to be a year where everybody's going to be brought into an awakening with an understanding that health is doable, and some of the things that we've been relying on as far as industry, they've just got a lot of bad stuff in them. So it's a health journey that we're on right now. What we say about holistic health is just about eating, exercising, it's about actually nourishing nurturing a interconnected aspect of our physical and mental worlds, as well as our emotional well-being. And each choice that we make for or down that road, so to speak, it makes ripples in multiple dimensions, if you will, of our health. So every time we make a choice mentally, then there are ripples that will go out because of the things that we do that are going to affect us in a holistic way. And that includes obviously working, getting the right amounts of sleep, things like that. The foundation of holistic health actually begins with sleep. And there's a place, it's called the National Sleep Foundation. Research from that indicates that the quality of sleep that we have affects everything from our thought process, right? Cognitive function to the immune system, strength. Adults, they say, need probably 7 to 9 hours of consistent quality sleep every night. That's what I try for because I love going to bed at night and thinking about stuff and dozing off and waking up the next morning bright and early. The quality of sleep that we have each night also affects how we wake and how our next day goes. So, but it's not just about quantity, it's about aligning our sleep schedule with what we call a natural it's a body rhythm, the circadian rhythms. It's a natural rhythm for sleep, you know, light and dark, and it's got to do with hormones within the body that really help you out. Moving into the nutritional aspect of all this, there was, I think it was the Harvard School of Public Health. I mean, they emphasized that our diet should actually be viewed as a long-term lifestyle choice. I know that I've talked about this before. I think the last time we actually had a good conversation with Dr. Derek a couple of weeks ago, where he was talking about, hey, I'm a 65-year-old man and I'm feeling better than I did when I was 35. And it's because of the way that I eat and the things that I eat, my mental attitude and the exercise I get every morning. He talked about doing planks. Yeah, those are really, really good for you. It only takes 10 minutes a day. So he's certainly got it on the ball when it comes to that. The lifestyle choice, what they're saying, what Harvard's saying with that is that, hey, this is not holistic health is a long-term fix. It's not something short-term. So this is a lifestyle change that we need to make in order to make sure that we're completely healthy, holistically speaking. There's also what we call, and it's gotten a lot of publicity in the last 8 or 10 years, is the Mediterranean diet, which is it's got to be consistently ranked among the healthiest dietary patterns, globally speaking, right? It provides an excellent diet framework for a holistic mindset. It emphasizes whole foods, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, healthy fats as opposed to not healthy or unhealthy, moderate protein intake. They also, I think they talk about minimizing processed foods, sugars, things that we just know we're not in our best interest to be taken in. And the last part seems to be key in healthy lifestyles is making sure that we limit, if we can, processed foods and sugars, because they really are poisons that are additives in the food and stuff like that. I think about a week and a half ago, they came out with an announcement that they've now made red dye number 5 illegal, and so there's a lot of repercussions in the market from that. There's a lot of other red dyes that are very bad for you, but at least we're starting to see that, recognize that, and the new administration is saying, time out. We're going to start working on a bunch of stuff we know is wrong, and obviously the Food and Drug Administration and the markets like that, and those sectors are going to get a lot of scrutiny. In addition to sleep and diet, there's obviously physical movement, which is exercise, you know, by any other name, a crucial pillar in holistic health. I think it's the American College of Sports Medicine. They recommend at least about 2.5 hours of moderate intensity exercise, or like an hour and 20 minutes of really vigorous exercise every week. But I find that there's something interesting in that research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology actually suggests that the type of movement matters less than the consistency of movement, which was one of the things when I was talking with Dr. Derek, he had indicated this is something I do every morning without fail for 10 minutes in the morning. And he's on to something because it's that consistency rather than what kind of exercise or how much you do that really brings that holistic focus into your health. Let's see, where it also finds, I think it was Harvard, no, it's the applied physiology people that also said if you find something that you enjoy doing, whether it's dancing or hiking or swimming or eating, if you enjoy doing it, you're going to get a lot more benefit out of it than if you're somebody that just jumps on the treadmill and goes, oh man, I got to run this 5 miles, period. Or, I've got to run this because it's good for me. It goes back to mindset, right? We know when we're happy and doing things, when we're happy, thankful, gratitude, all that stuff goes to mindset. So when you're doing something you really like to do, woo, baby, that's even better for you than doing something you don't like to do, even though it is still physical exercise. Now, I also talked about mental, the mental aspects, or there's a mental aspect of a holistic paradigm, if you will, for health. So mental and emotional well-being is in there too. Obviously, if you're talking mental or emotional, you're probably going to go look at some shrinks or some psychological brainiacs or brainards. So I looked at the American Psychological Association, and they've got a lot of extensive documentation about chronic stress. We've talked about stress, how it can impact physical health. And this is where holistically, right, to really get to the pinnacle of our health this year, this is where we want to talk more. I think, let me pull this off. It's bothering me. There we go. We want to talk more about mindfulness. And in mindfulness, I'm referring to deliberate, like meditation, where you go inside yourself, calming yourself down, and things of that degree or caliber. Again, we're only talking 10 minutes a day. And folks are like, oh, well, what does getting quiet for 10 minutes a day? And when I say mindfulness, I mean you get still and you get quiet inside and you just focus on something like the drone of an AC unit, or stare at a dot on a blank wall, or focus on your breathing so that your mind calms down and it kind of goes to a straight line, if you will. And that's when really neat things start to happen in your head. I won't get into that, but if you've got the patience and the wherewithal to do that, even for 10 minutes a day, that will drive how your day ends up and how the next day actually starts for you. When we talk about reduced stress and improved focus and things like that, right? We're talking about the regulation, emotional regulation, if you will, and that meditation enhances that. There's studies from the University of Massachusetts Mindful Center. Those studies have demonstrated that mindfulness practices, it lowers blood pressure, improves sleep quality, reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression. So it is a big deal, a major player in a holistic health sense when we start talking about, pinnacle of health, which means bringing it right up to the cap, right at the top of the mountain for your health. You got all these things that you build on. And when you get to that top part, that's the pinnacle. You want the best health and best shape you can be in, and that is incredible. As an aside, I follow and hope one day to be a part of the studies of what's called the Monroe Science Institute, and I think it's in Virginia. They're a pretty eminent authority, in my opinion, and I think probably if you did some research on all sorts of that sort of stuff where you have out-of-body experiences and things like that, which obviously we're not going to go into regarding health, but it's a thing. And part of what they do is meditation in a very real way and the benefits of it. So Environmental health is often, when we talk about our personal health and what's going on with us, a lot of times we don't look at the environment. It's often overlooked. But environmental health is also very, very, I mean, it's incredibly important. The EPA, which again, I'm quoting a lot of places. I don't put a lot of stock in most of government regulatory commissions or agencies, which probably will become apparent in the next week or two. But they do have some good studies, and the APA has reported that indoor air quality can be significantly worse than outdoor air. It's more bottled up, if you will. Holds a lot of things that fresh air doesn't. I mean, if you consider using air purifiers, or if you bring in plants, you should see my bedroom right now. It looks like there's a jungle on one end of it because I love my plants and they love me. Regularly venting living spaces. Every now and again, open that door up and get some fresh air in there. Right. Additionally, exposure to natural sunlight. I cannot speak enough on the health benefits of natural sunlight, and I don't even mean sunlight through a kitchen window, because that window, even though you can feel the heat and see the sun and it feels good, it blocks ultraviolet light, which is really good, right? So open that window when you're going down the highway in your car. Roll that window down, because even the ambient natural light coming in is going to be very good for your system. Just kind of had to throw that in there, simply because it's been shown, scientifically proven, to improve mood, improve your energy levels, and improve the sense of well-being, or the sense of overall well-being on platforms like this, because social connections, whether it's our platforms, this one here has got to be very, very healthy, unlike Facebook, I think. But social connections also play a very vital role in our health journey, right? Now, back to Harvard, there was a study done on adult development, and it was one of the longest running studies about adult life. And it showed that strong relationships are crucial, not only for physical, but mental health, right? So making time for these meaningful connections, for sharing information and resources, and just camaraderie, that's great stuff, especially if you're with family and friends, if you're on community groups, or even if you volunteer for causes that you care about. Then you're out, you're getting that exercise, you're getting that social contact, and you've got the good feeling about doing something good for others. And every bit of that can be helpful in your overall aspect of health, as we're kind of reaching for that pinnacle, if you know what I mean. I'd also encourage regular health monitoring, certainly preventive care to an extent. Now, I personally do not subscribe to the AMA, or the medical association, or these doctors, even in my own online charts, saying, oh, you need to have this done. And I'm like, no, I don't. I am as healthy as a moose. I am eating right, living right, and life is good. And I'm not going to go in and let you charge me $200 for a procedure that I know I'm already doing good and I don't need. Now, that being said, generally, overall, regular health monitoring and preventative care is an essential component to our healthy lifestyle. I think it's the Center for Disease, the CDC, and their control and prevention stuff recommends regular screenings based on age and risk factors. Colonoscopy, colonoscopies, it's a tough one. If you're above 50, things like that they just say, oh, if you hit a certain age, you need to go get this done. I'm like, no, you don't. But if you think that there's something wrong, because you got an intuition. If you follow your gut and you talk to your body will tell you what it needs and what's going on. So the idea is, don't wait for problems to develop. Be proactive about your health. Make sure that you're getting some regular checkups if you need them. Obviously, Dental care, that's another one. Preventative screenings and stuff like that. These are good tools and certainly recommended. And you want to keep an eye on all that stuff, right? Now, I've gone through a bunch of stuff, and it's like you just bring out with all this stuff. I've forgotten most of it, but how do I even get started, or how do you do this? Let's talk a little bit about implementation. I mean, the key though, like anything, we talk journeys all the time, and every one of us know on any new journey, you got to have that first step, right? And the key is start small, build gradually, and you'll build that success. You will end up on the road to greatness if you do that. And research in behavioral psychology shows us that trying to change everything at once, let me tell you, that can do things like burnout, certainly failure. Instead, if we choose small things to focus on first, right? So instead of getting up tomorrow and say, I'm going to run a mile, that's probably not advisable. I would probably go walk a mile and enjoy it in the sunshine to start with. Do that for a week and then jump out there and see, can I run a mile without killing myself? So you want to start small, choose an area to focus on, and maybe that could be going out and physically exercising. Maybe it's you want to think, oh, gee, I've been really crazy in my sleep routine. Sometimes I'm in bed at 10, sometimes it's 2 a.m. Well, maybe what I need to do is focus on getting the right amount of sleep and seeing if I get that circadian rhythm going, that cycle going that helps the rest of my body get into. Once that becomes a habit, other things start to change. When you make a little thing and you gradually increase it, it has that holistic effect. It reaches out and helping you get other things that become coherent within the system. Also, track what you're doing. Track your progress. Don't go crazy and obsess over it. You don't need to obsess over numbers or anything. But also focus on how you feel, what you feel about your energy level. How is your improved? Is it better? Is it worse? Stress, resilience, overall vitality. Keep an eye on all that so that wow, I'm feeling really great. And think of, okay, this is three reality. Action is language. So what did I do to make me feel this way? And start doing that some more, because the more you do it, the better you're going to feel, that sort of thing. Obviously, we want to focus on how we feel, the energy levels, moods, stress, resilience, all that stuff. Keep tabs on that. But remember one thing, creating a healthy lifestyle is the journey. It's not the destination. And we've talked about that a lot too, saying, you know what, the goal is not the objective. That's just something we're looking at because we're on the journey, and the journey is the objective, and growth and vitality and better health and more success, that's the objective, not just getting from point A to point B. So I would just encourage everybody to view your health in a very holistic manner, and every choice you make, from how it is that you move, or how you get your exercise, to what you eat, how you sleep, how much, even things that you think, right? And make sure to connect with others, right? Every bit of these, they all contribute to overall well-being. So start right where you're at, right? I mean, on the journey to where you're going, start right where you're at. Bloom your planet, I used to say. And when you do that, use what you have and don't stress about what you don't have. Just use what comes natural, use what you've got, do what you can, right? Small, consistent actions, they will add up. Just like if you looked at our path over the last 5 years, those small, consistent building helping whatever your goal is to become significant over time. So I'll let it there, and I'm going to enjoy the conversation, and thank you. And again, I am so sorry that I totally was just in my zone here. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother, Jeffrey Morlock. Thank you so much for coming. We'll say Happy New Year. Some of us haven't seen you here, and we appreciate you, and thank you so much for this amazing topic. I know Queen Debbie McCormick wrote it down, that she is the one that wrote about the topic. She wrote it down for you, and she wanted you to talk about the holistic health. Now, I believe you mentioned that holistic health is about achieving harmony in all aspects of your well-being, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So in 2025, with the advancement in science and technology, our understanding about the health, the holistic approach has become what more and what achievable than ever, right? You about the fitness, which is the movement of your strength and the vitality, founding training in which incorporate exercise, that we have to go out there and exercise, right? That it mimic the real life of activities to improve what the health, the strength, the mobility, and the balance, right? Right. And you talk about mental and emotional health, the inner peace and the clarity, the mindfulness practice with our daily meditation, or the gratitude journaling, which will help to reduce the stress and improve what? Mental clarity, right? As well as spiritual well-being, connecting with the purpose, daily reflection. You spend time each day reflecting on your goals and values. You talk about that and what truly matches, what truly matters to you, to others, right? And you said you talk about commitment. Community engagement. Being part of communities or group that align with your values to foster belonging to what? Your purpose. And then the nature of connection. You need to spend time outdoors regularly to connect naturally with the world and recharge. Right, Doctor? Oh man. Teeth, which will what? Stretching massage is to allow our body to recover, right? Then sustainable living, which will align with the planet. The eco-friendly choice that will support what? The local farmers. The choice of sustainability, we talk about the products and which will reduce the waste to contribute to your healthy planet. I believe you talked about when it comes to the holistic health in 2025, the true health is like it's going to balance, it will balance the body, the mind, the soul, the alignment with the nature and what? And the purpose, right? And you said that we should keep what you're doing. When it comes to exercise, if you feel like to go run, you want to run, you want to walk, because there are some people that cannot really run. I will tell you that when I started running at my age, I was sick. So I decided to rather than running. So it's not good most of the time. Your friends will say you should go downstairs and exercise, running on the treadmill. You say that you don't really have to listen to those people. Do what you think you can do that will make you happy. Isn't it, Brother Jeffrey? Make sure, like you said, to connect with others and track what you're doing every day. So, and you said that the key area is to focus on getting the right amount of sleep. I don't get that right amount of sleep, but I'm glad I will start learning to get the right amount of sleep. I want to take this moment to really thank you. I will say extraordinary presentation. We thank you so much. So at this time, I am going to ask Dr. Derek for the update today, please, before we can go to the questions and discussion. In Kanla, are you available?
Nice. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate. Um, and remember to drink water. Very important. All right, wonderful. Make sure we're drinking our water. And we have been here at least 2 hours or hour and a half, at least a hour and a half. So make sure you are drinking your water, and please at least stand up. Shouldn't be sitting so long. Stand up and stretch your legs and sit back down. All right, fine. Thank you very much. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our global kings and queens. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate. Really appreciate. Thank you very much, King Dr. John. That was an awesome mindset, awesome mindset. And of course, King Jeffrey Morlock. Let me just drop something right here in the chat because I did not know that this gentleman was so profound. He has 3 books that I know of, and they are awesome. I will be dropping that link in the chat here, and at some point, I will put the link in the description of the YouTube channel. Over 110 people and counting is actually live on the YouTube. So if you look in the chat at this time, you'll see a link for Amazon, where 3 of King Jeffrey's bookses are presently there that you can actually peruse, read, and they are not very expensive, as I can see. So please take a look at these books. Ancient Flavors, Modern Taste. Ancient Flavors. Go ahead. Uh-huh. Yes, go ahead.
The link you've got there shows like 3 books, and I haven't figured out why. I'm gonna have to get a hold of them, but I've got over the last 5 years, I think I've put out about 20 books, but they're not all up there.
Okay. Wow.
There's a lot more, so I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wonderful. Wow. Over 20 books. All right. So this is, we have to now switch the conversation and say that this gentleman, King Jeffrey, is a prolific writer. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, God bless your soul. A prolific writer with over 20 books. So only 3 that I'm seeing. So as I say, as King Jeffrey said, that you'll have to find out why is it that it's only 3. However, Ancient Flavors and Modern Tastes, Personal Growth Mindset, and How We Got Here, the history of spirituality and technology from ancient times to the modern era. All right, those are 3 of his many books, over 20 books that are there currently on Amazon. All right, so you will check out how is it or why is it they are not all displaying. I really lift my hat, although I don't have any, but I really salute you. Well, yes, I can salute. Right, so King Jeffrey, I really do salute you. You are a tower of strength here in On Passive, and most definitely, I remember that you did a manual and you update it also. So you are leaping more than bounds in our life here on Passive, and so I thank you very much for your would not. Let me say would not. quite possible we might not be able to link up as we are doing now. And I really appreciate this platform for this occasion. Thank you very much, King Jeffrey. Really appreciate, really appreciate. When it comes on to health, I am gang ho on health because it don't make any sense that you're on dialysis for 3 times a week, and it don't make sense. You will not enjoy life. All right. God made us to enjoy life. God made us to have health and strength, and we are tricked to think that it's only riches that make up wealth. No, it's not riches that make up wealth. It's a lifestyle, a complete package that makes up wealth. So wealth is not indigenous to just one item on the program. It's everything that makes up your whole life. How you sleep, how you eat, how you drink, how you rest, everything. How you spend and don't spend, everything, right? So it's a holistic lifestyle that makes a person wealthy. All right. Thank you very much, King Jeffrey. Really appreciate, really do appreciate. Thank you. And there is no updates. It's the same. Ash Mufareh is working assiduously to bring this thing back online. So just bear with us, bear with him, bear with his new tech team. All right, because most persons would have just and file for bankrupt, collect some money, and do something else. Not Mr. Ash Mufareh. No. All right. So let us just be patient. If you are not able to log in, be patient. If you are logging in and not seeing what you are to see, be patient. If you can't find your login information, that's your problem. But be patient. We'll be able to assist you as soon as everything is up and running. We will be able to assist you. But for now, if you can't find your login information, just be patient. Everything will soon come back to fruition, and we will be heading in that wonderful direction once again, from leaving the door du couple top and going further. All right. So that's where we still right now we are right now. But I will ask if Queen Kanla, she has anything, and I don't know if she might have anything in respective to where updates are concerned, but I personally don't have anything. But Queen Kanla, let me hear you if intro or something.
Dr. Derek, this is Yvonne. I believe she left a message on the chat, WhatsApp, that she will be in the background today. All right.
All
Thank you.
right. All right. Not a issue. All right. That's a small wrinkle. All right, because there's no update really. There's no new update. All right, from the last one, which was New Year's, wishing us a happy New Year and all of that. So there's nothing new. Just let us be patient and wait. That's all. All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate to all the Dream team, and thank you again very much, Dr. John and King Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Over to you once again, the moderating team.
Especially 20 books that our King Jeffrey has written. You guys may not understand. He started with the e-book. I mean, when I joined on Safe. If you guys can go back and just reread the e-book, you would try to understand what On Passive is all about. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate you. Dr. Pat, Proceed, please.
I don't have anything, just to say thank you all for your patience. Sorry, I'm in like Sister Carla today, but trying to do multitasking. Need to pay the bills. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. Thank you for jumping in when sorry about what happened today, but thank you, Brother John, for the mindset. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for all what you're doing. We really, really appreciate everybody. And they said wealth with no health is there's no wealth without health, to be honest. So these topics are very dear and important. What we eat, so that some people have that phrase like that. I always try to laugh about it and I make jokes about it, but I think we have to start being intentional about it. I am talking about myself. I have to really start being intentional about it. So we really appreciate you, Brother Jeffrey, for coming and
wealth without health.
sharing that wealth of
So
knowledge
these
with us
topics are
again
very
today. I really
dear
have to
and
start taking this serious and start being intentional about it. I really appreciate all of you coming here. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for running the show today. Appreciate all of you. I just have to share my face that I'm here. I listen to everything was happening, but I am typing in different places, but I'm here today. Love you all. If nobody said, as Sister Lerato will say, if nobody has said it, let me say it. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Queen Dr. Pat. Thank you. She is our host, and we really appreciate her with this amazing webinar. It's my time to introduce and discussion team.
Before you say, please, guys, ask questions. I think it's a very important topic. Don't be shy. Ask questions. The one that Dr. Derek, Brother Jeffrey can help out with, let him help us. Let's ask questions. This is very important. This is a very important topic when it comes to health. So as we're going to the Q&D team, be engaged. Everybody, please ask. What about if you have or share your experiences with us as well, please. Thank you.
You bet, Dr. P. I will share my experience.
Go ahead.
Queen Yvonne Finn, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Benny. My name is Yvonne Finn, and I reside in Canada. It is now -1 degree centigrade, but we're used to that, so I'm quite fine with that. I'm happy to be here on my dream team family. I love it. I manage the chat more often. I do wear different hats, but today I am looking after the chat. That's what I do. Welcome, Brother Morlock, and thank you, Dr. John, for that word. We'll talk about that a little bit later when I have a chance.
Perfect.
Thank you, Queen Benny.
Thank you so much, Queen Yvonne Finn. Thank you for introducing yourself. I appreciate you. Queen Aisha, are you available, please?
Yes, yeah. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm here because Nigeria, because my name is Aisha. I'm part of special education team. I'm so excited to be here today. My family, great team. I also appreciate guest speaker for tonight, Brother Morlock. Thank you for coming to share this wonderful topic with us. We appreciate it. Also appreciate DrJohn for his mindset. Always. Thank you very much, DrJohn. I want to thank the moderators, my whole vision and discussion team. Please, if you have any question, go ahead and raise up your hand, or you can go to the chat and drop your question, and then Sister Yvonne will take it from there. If you don't have any question, any contribution, you can go ahead and raise up your hand. We're here to take it. Thank you very much, Mr. Benny.
Thank you so much, Queen Aisha. I will say happy Sunday to you. And I know that you will do your best for our family here to raise their hands and ask questions, because health is important. Queen Engineer Bridget, are you available, please, to introduce yourself?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Dr. Benny.
Hello, hello,
Welcome.
hello, everyone. So excited to be here today. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jeffrey. This is an excellent topic. I am so delighted. And I promise I'm going to make sure I read all those books. I will read them. And congratulations. You never cease to amaze me from the ebook, like Dr. Benny said, and you keep going on and on and on. Thank you for all you do on Passive. Appreciate it. And thank you, Dr. John. Like always, you nailed it today for such an outstanding mindset. And surprise, Dr. Emel showed up today. Thank you for your contribution as well. And that was very intriguing and helpful. Appreciate you. So I am Bridget. I am Sister Eden, I will tell you what the temperature is right now where I live. The neck of the woods is 45 degrees. Sorry.
Stop showing off.
Mine is 45 degrees. Sorry about that. Well, I'm sure it'll get better soon. Yeah, I'm in Frederick, Maryland. I'm part of the Q&A team. So please ask those questions. Yeah, this is a very important topic for us not to ask questions. Jeffrey is definitely willing to answer those questions. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Queen Engineer Bridget, we appreciate your support. Thank you so much and happy Sunday to you. Now, before we start with the question and discussion, I want to take this moment to thank our welcome team. You guys know who they are. Well, I always call her my queen, but it doesn't like me to call her my queen. Sister Marie Pendy, we appreciate your love and support. You know how you always say, I am calling on you, Virginia. Those from what? Canada, Chevy Chase, Maryland. I really cute the way you accept us, welcoming us. Thank you. You make a lot of people happy. Yes, my queen. Yes, thank you. Oh, brother Alfred Shea, I want to appreciate you as well. You are always here, and I do understand that you love us so much, and thank you. Thank you. If Brother Alfred is here, but I just want to thank you. And we have, our moderator, you have Queen Debbie. You guys noticed that she is not a, but she came here purposely for the sake of our Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. Queen Debbie McCormick, thank you so much for your love and support and your dedication towards this, our extraordinary company. Thank you. Our host, you know, is Queen Dr. Patient Ajongwen. The love that you have within this company is overwhelming. Thank you for your support and thank you for this webinar. I want to thank our update team. You guys know the man, the technician, the technologist, whoever he is. Whenever you need to have problems, you need help, he is there. And I know I've never seen him sitting down. He only stands and answer questions. He takes 2 hours to help an individual. When mamas and papas, they need help, those who don't know anything about IT, Dr. Derek is there for them. I want everybody to really acknowledge him because I know that he loves to help brand ambassadors. Thank you. King Kanla as well. I know that you are not with us right now physically, but I know you're here listening. Queen Kanla always wear multiple hats. She's there doing everything. Reading. I was waiting for her to be here today to take over me, but she is not here. Well, but we still appreciate you, Queen Kanla. And do you guys know our mindset for today. Our astonishing, the one and only King Dr. John Ajongwen. Dr. John, thank you so much for your dedication. You're always there. When your wife say, do this, you have no choice. And well, it's because you love her. You to come here. If there is no one to do the mindset, we'll do it for us. Thank you, our Dr. John. Financial person, my financial brother, thank you for your love, for your support, and your dedication within this company. Thank you. I know you always talk about unpassive. That's unpassive. You know, our CEO make us to understand that the only person that can stop unpassive is who? God. God is the only one that can stop unpassive. Passive, a lot of people don't really know what is going on. But our CEO is really, really working behind the scene. And we have what? We have the best new tech. They're working with him. So let us be patient. And it's stated that the patient dog what? Eats the fattest bone. Now, let's talk about one of our moderators who works behind the scene, Queen Rose Mothabe. She is dedicated. She is so supportive when it comes to this, our company. Oh, Queen Rose, we love you. Continue to monitor the YouTube. All right. I thank you so much. Guess what? Do you guys know our presenter for today? Hey, my God. You know, I love him to death. I just wish, despite where he is my big brother from another mother. He knows that I love him with all my heart, mind, and soul. The person who wrote 20 books, who wrote the e-book about this, our extraordinary company, our one and only Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. We love you so much. And we pray that you will come back again because Queen Debbie will make sure you come back. Thank you. Guess what? Our question and discussion team. You have Queen Yvonne Finn, Queen Engineer Bridget, Queen Aisha. Thank you guys for your support. Now, are you guys ready for the question and discussion? Please, even if you don't want to talk, write your question on the chat because Queen Yvonne Finn she is going to monitor and she is going to read all those questions. Are you guys ready? Queen Dr. Pat said, you guys should raise your hands up. This is about your health, my brothers and sisters. Come on now. Are you guys ready to prepare yourself for the billions of dollars you guys will be receiving pretty soon? Raise your hands up, my brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. All right. I'm waiting for you guys. Queen Yvonne Finn, is there any question on the chat, my sister?
Not yet, my sister, nothing yet. But I would like to say something.
Proceed, my dear.
Okay, so I'm no longer surprised by ways mindsets and the presentations just always dovetail into each other. They always hook up in a kind of way like they were coordinated. Like Brother John is talking about the lies we tell ourselves at New Year. And of course, those can become toxic because we beat ourselves up when we miss the mark, right? We start feeling bad and we make those very porous excuses that everybody can see through, as he said, this happened and that happened, and then we fell short. And then we beat ourselves up and blame ourselves and rationalize. But because the lies are to ourselves, we internalize that and we feel bad. And especially if we've shared these resolutions, these goals with other people, and then we fall short. But what he's saying is that don't make judicial, like one hard decision, make it relational. And then we reflect and we group because everybody fails. None of us are perfect and we are going to fail at everything at one time or another, right? So what he's saying is that, yes, you still want to get to those goals, but be be gentle with yourself, be mindful with yourself, because when you add more stress and make yourself toxic, it doesn't serve anybody well. So that's what I got from what Brother John said, and he's very correct, because we kill ourselves, and I mean that literally, with those New Year resolutions. We compete to see who can make the most grandiose ones, and then we fall short of them. And that is not how life is lived, because it's comprehensive, right? We can't just focus on one thing. You can't. I see many people, and as Dr. Benny said, people would order this Big Mac and then they order a Diet Coke. It's ridiculous. It doesn't work like that. We have to take it measure by measure and do small steps. And then it's the same thing what our presenter, Dr. Jeffrey Morlock, is talking about the health. When it's very comprehensive, he went all around: diet framework, attitude, balance, proactive monitoring, consistency. I read somewhere, because I'm into looking after my health as well. So I was reading a book yesterday, and the author was saying that and convenience is killing us because we don't get enough exercise, right? So we just sit around and everything can be brought to our door now, just about, right? We never have to go anywhere. And that is not how our ancestors lived. We had to fight for food and safety and always building homes, and we were just active during the day. So when the night came, we didn't have to worry about resting. We were tired. We were done with the day and looking forward to the next, right? Because every day we had to do those same things, right? And another thing that we have is this idea of retirement. Retirement doesn't mean sitting around and doing nothing. It just means redirecting, right? You do something else, because if you have a passion and purpose, you want to follow that until you die, right? You don't have to retire from your purpose. You might change how you do it, because, as you get older, energies can wane and things change. But now, adult health is being monitored, and it's a killer when people retire and become isolated, especially that. There's a statistic that shows how as soon as one spouse dies from an illness, even though the other one might not be ill, they die, because we're social. We're meant to do stuff. We're meant to be carrying on until we die. Somebody says they want to empty out themselves, right? They want to make sure everything that they have to give to this world, and we all have something to give, right? So give it and give it and give it in whatever capacity you can. One thing we should not do is overwhelm ourselves, comparing ourselves with other people, because we all come with a different purpose. And that is a terrible thing I see. I see some of it here in this Unpassive, unfortunately, but in the world at large, and social media and everything. And a lot of it that we see there, it's lies. People are not living those lives, but they're putting their fake things out there, and you try to match that, and it has nothing to do with you. Give what you are meant to give. And that's how I think that can manage to live these long, healthy lives, so we can enjoy our unpassive abundance and do the things that we promised to do, right? So that's my little contribution right now. Queen Benny, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate you. Guess what? You guys have listened to her, right? Now, aren't you guys excited? I'm expecting a lot of our brand ambassador to raise their hands up. But anyway, let me ask my own question. By the way, Queen Bridget, do you have any question before I ask mine? I think I have like 20 questions.
One for each book.
I'll have a question after I read the books.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, how do you ensure your meals are balanced with a variety of nutrients?
You see him, sister? Is he?
I see him. He's here.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I think he wants to unmute himself.
Yeah, I had to get down there and unmute. That's a good question. There was something that I also am thankful to Dr. Derek about, because I totally gaffed off fluids, and water is incredibly important. So having said that, balancing, well, there's a lot of ways you could look at it depending on what your what your physical makeup is, what your body is doing. Okay, I mean, to incorporate balanced meals, we want to include a variety of obviously nutrient-rich foods from different food groups. We talked about those earlier with whole foods and vegetables and fruits and all of that stuff. Incorporating protein, you don't want to overdo it. Okay, but want to have some lean meat or fish or bones and seeds, those sorts of things. Again, I do stress natural, beans and those things are technically in the meat group. So, but those things also provide amino acids for uh, immune function and muscle repair and stuff like that. You want to make sure that you got healthy fats, sources like nuts and seeds and avocados and olive oil, stuff like that, which are they get what we call, so we can absorb fat soluble vitamins, and that gives us long lasting energy. We also want to make sure that we have whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, oats, okay, for fiber and maintaining. It helps, I think, also to maintain healthy. Again, you want to have fruits and vegetables, right? We should. I think. I think what the general knowledge out there is that you want to have half your plate with nice fruits and vegetables to get a good wide range of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and stuff. Honestly, plus can because when you start sprinkling the herbs and spices with all of their many healthy benefits on fruits and vegetables and meats and things like that, that just adds to it. It's okay. You can do dairy or alternative. A lot have some fortified non-dairy. I enjoy oat milk. I enjoy almond milk. I even use almond creamer. Of course, I'm a big fan of Italian sweet cream, but I sure like it. Staying hydrated, doctor, and that you made it. You're drinking plenty of water. I distilled water. That's all I drink, unless nothing else is available. Obviously, then I'll drink something else. Yeah. But I really enjoy the distilled water because its pH is at 0 and it does a lot of things that are good for you. Keeping an eye on how much you eat. Portions matter. You don't want to sit down and start overeating. Mm-hmm. I love when you said here, I go eat this Big Mac and you get a diet soda. Well, let me tell you, both of them are bad for you. The diet soda is not good for you at all. So you're thinking the word diet is helping you, and it's not.
I was stealing from Dr. Benny. I think she first mentioned that when she was talking about how you see the people buying these Big Macs and then they're insisting, as a matter of fact, Diet Coke, like that's going to mitigate. And neither one are good.
Yeah, they're both very bad for you. Again, you want to limit the sugars and the salt. I mean, you buy the Big Mac. I mean, I haven't had McDonald's in years, but I remember salt. That's what I tasted every time I bit a Big Mac. It was salt, and they've got so much of it in there. You want to make sure that we reduce the intake of sugary beverages and sweets and salty snacks, just to help to maintain that. And everything here is moderation. Do it in balance. And body types are different. So I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do to balance meals and to balance diets. But it comes down to for our body and our body types and our lifestyles. So thank you. It was a good question.
It was. But I want to add something quickly. Overall, what you said, Brother Jeffrey, is that we have to know ourselves, just like in business or anything else, because some people, even the natural healthy stuff, doesn't resonate with their body types, because some people are allergic to ginger, which everybody thinks everybody can take it, and some people are allergic. My daughter is allergic to ginger, cannot have it, right? I myself cannot have moringa, which is supposed to be a very good, rich, natural supplement. You know what I mean? So it's all about running your own race, knowing yourself, and as you say, getting the proper information, and then working within that framework. It's all about that, right? And then the consistency, of course. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolute.
Yeah.
Absolute.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeffrey Morlock. Now, you make me to understand that you're drinking distilled water because it has 0% of pH?
Yeah, you don't have negative or positive pH at all. It's at a 0 pH. When you drink it, it helps to pull antioxidants out of you. And the big reason for me though is I don't know what's in the other bottled water. I know distilled water has a standard to be distilled, but natural spring water, drink whatever, that may be just a filtered water that's coming from somewhere, and I don't know what's in it, and I don't like it. I don't like knowing it. So I just do distilled water because then I know in my head, even if I'm wrong. And the bottom line is, if I believe that this is better for me, it's going to be better for me because I believe that.
Yeah.
The placebo, right?
Yes. So it's neutral, you're saying?
It's a neutral pH. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
See it, Queen Engineer Bridget. Thank you so much, Mr. Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. Somebody has their hand raised.
Yes.
Joseph, could you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Well, thank you so much. Mr. Jeffrey, I had a question for you. You talked about the distilled water. Do you distill your own water, or when you distill water, if you buy it, and if it is in plastic bottles, how do you handle that?
That depending on who you talk to and what you look up, there are some folks that say that pure water with a pH of 0 doesn't naturally occur. Obviously, pH value indicates acidity and such. In controlled laboratories, they can create that. So for me to just carte blanche say, "Oh, it's got a 0 pH," there's probably some science behind it that can go either way. You're right about plastic. That the plastic the particles will leach into the water if you leave it there for a while, or especially if you reuse plastic bottles. I know a lot of people, they buy the plastic bottles of water, and then once they drink them, they'll go to the tap and fill it back up, and just because it's convenient to have that plastic bottle either, because you end up with these plastic molecules in your body. So, but no, I don't distill water. I just buy gallons of distilled water from a grocery store, Walmart, Food Lion, whatever. And there's controversy about the pH in it, but they watch my pH. I do add vinegar into some smoothies, and there are doctors out there that say if you can get past it and do it, that a shot of vinegar every morning will work wonders for your system. I haven't gotten quite that brave.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, when you visit your primary care doctor, do you talk about the distilled water? Because the medical field will tell you never to try it.
No, I've never talked to my doctor about that. But then again, I never talked to my doctor about COVID either.
Yeah. So, so the distilled water that is in the grocery stores is 0% pH.
No, there may be science out there saying no, distilled water probably has like a 7 or a 6, or maybe they say it's low. But it's my understanding that it's a neutral pH, and that it's better for you to drink than just certainly regular tap water. Although you may have heard that there are people now, or I think part of the world is coming around where they're going to start taking the fluoride and things like that out of the water because they know that it's not good for you.
Yeah, I'm asking these questions because I distill my own water.
Oh, okay.
Certain times when I distill it, it still have a percentage higher than 0.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to find out. If you have a particular area where you have your 0% distilled.
Well, I've never. There's an understanding, so I possibly shouldn't have come right out and said, yeah, it's got a neutral, and I like that word neutral, a neutral pH, because I've never gotten a litmus and actually tested it. It's just been a long understanding through a lot of things that I've learned that I like. It's got a lower pH, and it was pretty close to zero, I thought, and I've been drinking it for years, and I've just gotten to where I prefer it. Um, when you first start to drink it, though, you'll notice there's a little bit of a different taste. Uh, but I'm impressed that you distill your own. That's pretty cool.
And the question I'm going to ask is, secondly, we have the teachings that 7 to 7.4 is the good percentage of pH, and less than 6 is already taking you to the hospital. How do we balance that?
Well, that's a very good question. 7.4 is considered very good. That means it is slightly alkaline, which is actually pretty ideal for the human body, right? In fact, pH of human blood is typically around 7.35 to 7.45. So, I mean, 4 is aligning right along with that, with maintaining good health.
May I just interject? Okay, so I just looked at it and it says, yes, distilled water is considered to have a neutral pH, meaning its pH is typically around 7 on the pH scale, which is considered neutral. So
I should have probably explained when I say 0.
Yeah, that's where I was.
I mean, it's
harsh.
0 at the, it's a neutral. So that's why I said I like that word better.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they're rating it as well, neutral.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Oh,
Thank you, Brother Jeffrey.
For those that are kind of wondering how I came up with 0, if you look at the number scale and you go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, negative. So that's where I got the 0. I like that word neutral. I'm going to start working. I'm going to start using that word better.
Well, that's more definitive, isn't it? Yes.
Well, it's more accurate. So I
accurate,
you said 0, because that leads you to wonder, 0 pH. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, we live and learn, brother.
Let me ask one question before you go. Concerning the vegetables and the protein that you talk of, and the carbohydrates. I find that we've been brought up with some diets that people come with them on either social media or even in the restaurants, or they are selling this or selling that. What I think is that you can mix your vegetables with a steak if you can, or you can mix your, but you cannot eat carbohydrates with proteins at the same time. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying. There is things about this sort of thing. So if we start with vegetables, they're packed. I mean, they got lots of good vitamins and fiber and antioxidants and minerals and all the good stuff, right? That play a crucial role in maintaining our overall health, so that we can get to that pinnacle we were talking about. Some vegetables, including the leafy ones like spinach and kale, root vegetables like carrots and potatoes and stuff like that. Cruciferous vegetables, which are the broccoli and the cauliflower, they remind me of, well, you know what I mean, cauliflower and broccoli. And a lot more of those are very, very good. They're low in calories and provide a lot of nutrients. Now, when you start talking about proteins, they say they're the building blocks of our body. You learn that in science, right? And essential for maintenance of tissues, growth, repair, that sort of thing. Proteins are made up of amino acids. Some of those your body just can't produce on its own, and they've got to be gotten from somewhere in the diet. Sources like meats and poultry, fish, eggs, dairy products, beans, lentils. That's all those things that we talked about earlier, and it's important for your muscles and stuff like that. When you talk about carbohydrates, then that's that's where your body's getting this energy. Okay, it mixes O2 and it just does some really cool things and gives you that massive energy that you get. And they're found in foods like grains and fruits and vegetables and dairy products and all sorts of other stuff. They can be classified into a couple of different things, which are uh, simple carbs, which are sugars, and then you got complex carbs, and those are the starches and fiber and stuff, right? Complex carbs are supposed to be better for us or a choice because they seem to provide a sustained energy and they're rich in fiber. That helps our digestion, helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels, as opposed to when you get a sugar high or sugar rush, right? The simple carbs. You don't want those. They're not sustaining and they just kind of jack you up. Now, you were talking about, can we have this stuff with meat? Um, Pairing things with meat, right? Combining vegetables and proteins and carbohydrates uh, with meat, that can help to create balanced meals. You know, they say half your plate full of vegetables and half your plate with other stuff. And this is a few reasons for it being beneficial, including that there are some food groups when you do that that ensures when you add these together like that, makes sure that you're actually getting a wide range as opposed to only half of what you should be getting. Obviously, flavor and variety. That's why we talk a lot about the herbs and spices also, because mixing different food groups can really give you a much flavor, more robust flavor, a better texture. My son is huge. I never heard of. I don't like the texture, so I don't eat it. I'm like, it's good food. Who cares? But he has a thing about texture. There's some things he won't eat. So it just makes food more enjoyable. So in that way, it helps to balance things out. And obviously, there's health benefits when you put vegetables and juice because of all the good stuff you're getting. It helps to reduce some of the risk of uh, diseases or help to promote overall health, which is what we're talking about today. So, yeah, it could include, you know, if you're looking at your plate and you got a good piece of lean meat and you got a serving of grains and you got a general portion of vegetables, boom, that combination is it's magic to your body.
Most of the meat that we eat, most of the meat that we eat feed on grass.
You would hope.
Most well, but for those that we grow inside the houses or order, but normally meat, the cows and the goats and the lamb, they feed on the grass on top of the hills.
Yeah.
And if we are looking for protein and we're going to get it from them, part of the vegetables that we are eating, we also get proteins from there, right?
Yeah. When it comes to meat, there are best practices depending on what type of animal, you know, and what kind of quality of meat you want. Grass fed, the benefits for grass fed animals like cattle, um, I guess typically access to a pasture, right? That gives us when it's grass fed, like what you're talking about, the levels of omega-3 fatty acids, they're higher. And they've got lower levels of the saturated fat that you don't want. You've also got more antioxidants and more vitamins. The animals like this, animal sheep, cattle, sheep, goats, those are what we're talking about. And those meats from this grass-fed pasture environment usually are richer with a more distinct flavor. If you now grain-fed, it's a little different. Grain-fed, like cattle and pigs, even often raised on a diet of corn or soy, other grains. It can lead to faster growth, but it also gives more striations, marbling, I think, call it, in the meat, right? Some people prefer that because they say that it's more tender and flavorful. I've got no thought either way on that because I don't eat meat, or if I do, it's very often in precious little. On occasion, I might have something, but years ago I stopped, and that was just a natural progression. My body was saying I didn't need it. I mean, I used to be a huge chicken. Free range, what they call free range, that became a big thing in pasture raised. You know, big marketing ploys. free range and pasture raised animals also have access to those outdoor spaces. I mean, you're out in nature, you're out in the sun. All of this stuff is good. Plus, it's probably, you know, the grass and the stuff they're eating is probably better. That's going to improve their quality of life. It's your meat. It's going to lead to better nutritional profiles for that meat, you know, like chickens and pigs, sometimes cattle, stuff like that. And again, that type of meat, free range, pasture raised, can be flavorful, have a good firm texture. Kind of meat that we really haven't talked too much about, which I'm surprised it hasn't come up because it's a buzzword, you know, and that's the organic side of things. The benefits for that, the organic meat that comes from animals that aren't being raised with synthetic hormones and antibiotics, right, or genetically modified feeds, even, right? I mean, organic meat without those things is a lot better, not only for the environment, for our particular health too, which could be cattle, pigs, and chickens, and other animals. There's not a big trade-off in the meat taste. Apparently, it's about the same, but they've gone to what we call sustainable or ethical farming practices, which is, you know, like rotational grazing, humane handling. There was a big thing on that for a while where people were really concerned about the way these animals are treated. Another big thing now is, you know, minimal use of chemicals, and all of these things they're doing help to contribute to the sustainability of farming and the welfare of the animals. And this is right across the board. It's about all kinds of livestock and such. And so it as a result adds again to a higher quality, more ethical meat production. So I mean, when you look at it overall, choosing the best way of for raising the meat that we eat depends really on your priorities and, you know, what do you want as far as nutritional value. Are you looking at the environmental impact? Are you looking at animal welfare? Are you looking strictly at taste? So I mean, I hope that helps.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank
You know, Brother Jeffrey, I think one of the things that we have, while you here, I think one of the things that we've forgotten is that how far we've come from where we were, if you want to call it that, because what you said is pretty much what's going on there. But the thing, how is it that when the animals, I mean, there are some people who are not meat eaters and they're right here and they're going to be objecting to what we're talking about. I also have transitioned from what you were saying, just because I just didn't really want it anymore. So now I'm a minimalist meat eater of any kind. I don't really care for it because, you know, I just don't want it. My body.
And that's a personal preference. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. My body has rejected it. But some people are really quite adamant about not eating meat and they want to shove that on you. But that's not here nor there. What I'm saying is that they've messed with the food we're eating, and then they want to tell you what to eat and what not to eat. And it's all about marketing and commercialism, and everything must be commoditized.
Yeah.
We are lost.
Well,
it's really terrible.
Yeah, it's all about what is big farm and marketing and industry and
absolutely
interconnected.
Yes.
And one is with the other, and I'm telling you, these guys are like they're tight as thieves together.
Yes.
But it's all coming out.
It's all coming out. But what can we do? What can we do now, though? How can we walk back from this? I mean,
people talking about that now. You're right.
People are talking about going off the grid and everything. But I'm sorry, I don't want to become a farmer.
Well, the idea here, what you're getting at, and the solution that you're kind of hovering around is not necessarily you becoming a farmer. What we're doing is developing communities to get back to the basics.
Yes,
yes. I'm not a carpenter, but I'm telling you what, I got 30 years of honey to this. Like the dad on your under your house.
I hear you.
If you're next door and you need a roof fixed, but you got chickens, then I'll go fix your roof if you give me some eggs.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Yes, yes. No, but seriously, Brother Jeffrey, they've messed with the food and they streamline you with what you could and shouldn't. This yield Eggs are the greatest thing for you. You have to have 6 dozen eggs a week or whatever. And the next week, somebody else will everybody get their portion of money because it's always dollar signs. It's really quite frustrating. And navigating your health is the most important thing because without that, it doesn't matter how much money you have. You're not going to have any quality of life. So I find you know,
It's a
truly,
big cycle. Yeah, yeah.
just
We live food, they poison us, and then they charge us to get what it is.
exactly. There you go. That's what it is. It's so
It's
insidious.
called
But
personal accountability.
it is. But I like the idea that you're making, and I have to, you know, for as long as I live, I'm going to have to try to insinuate myself into one community like that where I can do my thing, and they will do their thing, and we'll all live happily ever.
You know, the big thing is that we're all in this
We are.
together.
Yes.
We don't have to get bent out of shape about it.
We don't.
Have to,
We don't.
you know, feel fearful.
No.
Just understand it, look at it objectively, and do what's right for you.
Exactly.
Have a wide-reaching impact on your personal universe.
Yes.
You know, and we talked about that within On Passage, saying once I'm taken care of and I'm on the straight and narrow, that naturally is going to emanate to my family and my friends and then my coworkers. Then it's going to go to my neighbors, and my neighbors it's going to go to the city, and we're going to.
Yes.
Everything works like that. So
very good, very good. I'm glad you're bringing that hopeful aspect because, you know, I write about issuing overwhelm all the time, but I tend to get that way when I look at the different things that needs to be balanced and measured and lifted up, because otherwise we leave our whole being to these people who do not mean us well. I don't care if anybody wants to deny it. They don't mean us well because we're just dollar signs.
That's
right?
it. That's exactly right.
Yes.
But we've got a lot more power than you think we have.
We do.
Always have the ability and the power to make a choice. And that choice is what drives where we go. And that choice is connected to a passion, what we like, what jazzes us up. And when we link to our passion, that passion is going to link to another passion. And you've got synchronicities come in. There's step after step and take you in your true north for your purpose. And this is what this is all about. This is what this platform is all about. And we give some power.
Yes, we do. Thank you for your positivity, because I tend to be a little bit more morose. And so it will be nice to meet up with like-minded people like what you are, so we can have a balance because,
you know, the beautiful thing is that when you've got that positive mindset and that's all you've got, that's what you attract. Okay. You've got your thoughts and you've got your emotion, and the two of those together, you got electrical and magnetic. You can have an electromagnetic field that goes out and it attracts that same thing. So eventually, if you're consistent in that mindset, you attract those mindseted people to you, and all these others will go by the wayside.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I agree. There we go. I think Sister Mary really had something to say. Did she, Dr. Benny?
Yes.
Okay.
She did.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's okay. She raised her hands up.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Proceed.
Sorry, I'm on the road. I just wanted to add, when there was this question about the distilled water and the pHs, I just wanted to say that, you know, when we are consuming those fluids with pHs and minerals, we have to be balanced, just like everybody said. If you drink too much of distilled water without minerals in it, and the pH is less than your pH of your chemistry in your metabolism, there's a potential to deplete the pH neutral that the body tends to hold. And when you deplete the pH from the neutral, it can either be high if you consume a lot of pH substance. It may throw your chemistry to an imbalanced state. And so the minerals, the fine minerals and the salts and the positive anions and cations, they get thrown off. And once those things are thrown off from your natural, you may have potential for electrical activities that may affect the functioning of your muscles. And that may include your muscles in your arms, muscles, your heart muscle. You may go into some rhythm, your heart, because your chemistry of your body is imbalanced. And you may have done it by a shift, by consuming too much of or too less of, and it shifts the equilibrium to an imbalanced state, and it triggers the chemical imbalances and the electrolyte imbalances. And you say, oh, my heart is beating too fast. I don't know why. It could be because of all the offs that you have put in your mouth or drank through fluid. So everybody has to know their body and make sure that whatever you're eating, you're trying to eat to neutrality and not shift your equilibrium to something that is going to cause side effects that you may have, like palpitation and all that. That's all I wanted to add to that.
Thank you, sister.
Absolutely. You're spot on. And I like the idea that you're bringing that up because when you talk about a neutral pH, you're looking, somewhere right around 7. That's essential for your body. I mean, my daughter the other day, she said, "Oh, I couldn't believe it, Dad. I switched my deodorant. 3 days later, my whole armpit it was like I had dandruff. It was just shedding skin." I said, "Huh, you went natural? What'd you do?" I said, "You're screwing with your pH." She says, "Yeah." She said, "You went to this organic or this totally natural deodorant, and it was a mess." And I'm like, "Okay, well, you're messing with your pH now." When you get your pH off, funny things start to happen, right? The 7.35 to 4.5, which is just a little bit alkaline, which is good, but it's crucial to make sure that the enzymes and the proteins and the biochemical processes, that's what we're talking about, making sure that they're working right. When you hit imbalance, which are deviations from this range, it can lead to conditions like acidosis, which is too much acidity, alkalosis, too much alkaline. It's just saying it ain't good. It's not good, and it can give you some pretty serious health implications in the digestive system. We have a very the entire system is highly acidic environment inside our stomach. I mean, it's really it's like 1.5 the pH 1.5 to 3, right? And that's what helps to kill bacteria and eat that food up. So we need to have that. When we get to the pancreas, we've got it releases a bicarbonate into the small intestine, and it helps to neutralize some of the acidity that comes from the stomach, and that kind of neutralizes everything before it comes out and doesn't hurt us. The skin, the skin's a little different. It's not at 7. I think it's at 4.5, 5.5, but that helps to maintain the barrier and fend off microbes and stuff. But you're absolutely right. You want to make sure that there's a balance of that, and you usually does a pretty good job.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep. Because if it goes through and you have acidotic conditions, you may start having shortness of breath because you're going through respiratory acidosis. Or if you have a lot of alkaline, you can have respiratory or metabolic alkalosis. And these are all medical emergencies. So you have to be extremely careful so you can balance everything.
Yeah. But it's like we were talking about earlier when we said holistically speaking, when you do something here, it affects something over here. And what you're talking about is when we affect the pH, now we've got some chemical inconsistencies in the body, and weird things start happening, and these things that you're talking about show up, and it's bad for us. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Good girl. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to add. Thanks.
Thank you, sister. I can attest to that because I was drinking too much water per day, up to 8 liters for whatever reason. And I did have the palpitations. So, of course, my doctor said, stop doing that. So, yeah.
You know, you have a lot of us sometimes that are constantly going to the fridge and opening it and looking it in. Then they're like, oh, I don't see anything I want. That's your body usually saying, hey, I'm thirsty and I need some water.
Yes.
Instead, a glass of water.
Yes.
But 8 liters a day.
Yes, I know. It was just too much.
Yeah, that's true. Because for like people who have heart problems, for example,
Yeah.
people have heart problems, but they are restricted from drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
Because their heart, when you drink a lot of water, which some people are very good, they flush out your kidneys and stuff. But some people are not able to process that water through your kidneys.
Mhm.
So it goes and stores around the heart.
Yes.
So that when your water is being kept around your heart and other parts of your body, like in the heart, they will say you have congestion, congestive heart, and your heart may go into failure, congestive heart failure, because you do have a lot of water around your heart, and it is disrupting the muscle functionality to pump your blood in your circulatory system. So
Absolutely.
it's an emergency. They said drink a lot of water to flush your body, but for some people that is not good. If you have a heart condition, you may be restricted from drinking just a quantity of water that will not be stored in your heart and then cause your heart to fail. And so a patient, somebody who comes with congestive heart failure, it's a medical emergency. They have to give you a lot of, diuretic, that water out of your heart. Give you some medicine to help your kidney open up so you can clear up that water that is circulating your heart and impeding it from beating the way it's supposed to beat for your organs adequate oxygen. So yes, you have to be conscious of your health. What A does is not equivalent to what D and F should do.
Absolutely. That's what. Yes. Thank you,
What
sister.
you're talking about, when we start talking about the heart and everything with the heart and its activity, we're talking about regulating electrical activity within the body, right? Especially in nerve and muscle function, right? Now, there are key nutrients, and you're hitting on some of them. I call them the EMs. Get all your EMs. Make sure you have your EMs: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, the EMs, because with like potassium, for instance, it helps to give proper nerve function and muscle contraction, right?
Exactly.
It's essential for maintaining the electrical charge of the cells. Obviously, your heart is a huge muscle. That's important. Okay.
Yes.
When you talk about sodium, which is salt, sodium's also nerve impulses, muscle contraction. It works right alongside potassium, maintains balance in your fluids and stuff. Calcium, we know about that. Muscle function, nerve transmission. That even has something to do with blood clotting. Magnesium, a big one. Regulate muscle and nerve function, blood sugar levels, blood pressure. So what we're talking about here is heart health, circulatory health, electrical body health, and those are huge. Even chloride and phosphorus. Vitamins B1, B6, and B12. Those are, you need to make sure. So, I mean, if you're not taking supplements, you don't have to, but sometimes supplements are a good idea if you can't get, what you need elsewhere. So, anyway,
That's why it's so important, as they always warning us. That's the one thing that they tell us. That's true. Is get a good checkup before you change any kind of thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
When it comes to diets, because even if you were eating your McDonald's and your stuff and you're okay, you think you're okay, but then if you change and you go on this, you know what I mean. That's what you also said. Don't do it overnight.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have to be careful what things. Well, because I'm looking at a comment here in the chat, and I'm not sure whether it's neutral or not, but it says, "My goodness, this meeting is completely out of unpassive." I don't know how to take that, but Brother Jeffrey, you know what I'm saying, right? We don't want.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like I was talking to the somebody last week, and I said, my YouTube channel is an unpassive channel. It's as simple as that. But there's not a lot going on that we're talking about with On Passive. So we're
Right.
doing some other things, and we're keeping the group, and we're helping each other because that's the nature of On Passive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I, for one, appreciate that. But what I'm saying is that we're not giving anybody any medical advice here. Don't say,
we're just
no,
having a
just
good
use it
conversation.
at your own discretion. And before you start any new thing, please consult the
And do you know what?
professional.
The very fact that you feel like you have to say that talks about the indoctrination that we've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're having a good conversation, this common sense conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you know what? Those people that are pushing the buttons out there, they're like, you can't do that. You got to come to us and pay us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
it's all about that.
yeah.
It's all about dollar. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. I really appreciate you. It's a very enlightening conversation because, you know, a lot of us here are really focused on how we can live long, healthy lives, not just long. And that is important.
It's 150 years, so you know, used to it.
There you go. Me too. All aspects of our lives, we want to be firing on all cylinders as much as we can make them.
Yeah.
So thank you. Yeah. You, Queen Benny.
Well, I just want to appreciate Sister Marie for your question. You know, the way she's asking is because we all know that she's a nurse, right?
Yes.
So she knows what she's talking about, and just have to be quiet.
Sister Rahel has her hand up.
Could you please proceed, Queen Kamala?
Yes. All right. Good afternoon or good evening or good morning, the Dream Team on Perseverance. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Greetings.
I know I am in the background. I'm not able to have my video on, but I have been listening to the conversation, and what a great, great educational webinar. Thank you so much, Brother Jeffrey. I mean, I couldn't just sit without adding my own little question or comment. Wonderful presentation and discussion. So I wanted to chip in on the side of the monetization of the food industry is all about the money. I heard that. I wanted to look at the growth in terms of individual families as well as communities now that are coming to the realization, the educational information now that the food that we eat, what we buy, what they tell us that it is not sometimes what it is. And I've seen many, many smaller businesses now that have taken upon themselves the decision. They are cultivating their own food. They grow food behind your home or wherever you can, but then because you want to take that decision to be able to do it yourself. I mean, my background or our background, for those of us who come from the continent of Africa, we were raised, brought up with understanding that a healthy life, healthy eating is be able to have good food. We go to the farm, you cultivate, whether it's vegetable, whether it's starch, whatever you're cultivating. And when it's harvest, you harvest, and your food is as natural as it can come, with less the chemicals that are used by the bigger industries because of mass production. And that is what has been driving the health lifestyle as well as the food, and even still currently now in the continent of Africa as well as other places, or even here for those who still stay within that lifestyle. So my question is, what advice do you have for those that may not be thinking that this is something that they can do if they want to? Because it goes a long way for you to take control over your food. We talked about eating the vegetables, the portions. You reduce that exposure to buy things from the stores without you having full understanding. And sometimes it comes to those that may not be able to read the fine print. They may not have anyone who will educate them properly, or they are not technological savvy to read all the information. But hey, they are the traditionalists where they're old fashioned and they really want to eat as natural as possible. In terms of being able to have that small garden, whether it's one or two pallets that you can put next to your home, and you are able to grow some of your vegetables. What advice can you give in terms of being able to do that? It's not about the quantity, but it's about that awareness, that positive mindset that yes, I can go buy from the store, but how about if I can do something for myself, then I take charge, I take control of what I eat and what goes into my body. And by so doing, improve my lifestyle as well as that of my family.
Yeah, what you're talking about gets us back to the idea that we all have the power of choice. We need to choose, and we need to know that we can choose and believe in ourselves to choose what is best for us and what we need. Now, a lot of folks like me, I really don't want to have to grow a garden and tend it and do all that. That's not what jazzes me up. But I've got a brother who is a farmer at heart. I mean, he is just a salt of the earth kind of guy that lives on a farm, and he takes it, I mean, to the nth level, to where he even burns wood and mixes charcoal into the soil. And I mean, it's incredible what he does. So find people in your neighborhood like that, people that that grow things. Maybe they just grow herbal spices, or maybe they grow vegetables or fruits or what. And the whole thing is get a barter system going, or get favors, and look at the resources in your community. We can all do it. The World Wide Web is an incredible. I mean, we live in a polar world. Okay, we got good on the one side, and on the other side, there's going to be bad. We always live somewhere in the middle. So yeah, you can use the web for nefarious reasons, but for the most part, if you got a good head on your shoulders, you can find out anything and everything. So you can learn to do home gardening. You can learn to reconstitute the minerals and the good things inside the soil so that they'll grow better food for you. Or you can work on learning something else that your neighbor wants, and that way you can get the food he grows instead. So, I mean, it's all about working together and being connected, taking advantages of the resources and information that we all have available to us, just to plan out what we want for our lives. I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Yes, it does, because it actually helps goes a long way when we see some the small within our community where you can stop by a stand and you pick up food, natural, fresh from the farm, because food is one of the benefits. It's fresh, it's from your neighbor or from your community. You see it, it's fresh, you pick it up. You don't have to worry about, oh, how long has it been out there into the store, or how was it grown? But then, and it helps also, you eat fresh on a constant basis or throughout the week, and you don't have to worry to go do bulk shopping or all those types of things. So in a way, you're also eating healthy. And if we are able to do that, absolutely. If you can try, and that information readily, partnership, team up with those. We used to call that trade, right? Where you have something and your neighbor, what your neighbor does not have.
Yes.
In the old days, they will even say it's trade by butter. You
Yeah.
take what you
Absolutely.
trade by butter. You take what you have, you go to your neighbor, and what they have, you trade. You go home and you make your home meal, and everyone is healthy. The entire community is healthy.
And you don't even have to do that with food. I did it with a friend of mine. He was a master electrician. He came over to my house. He dug the ground, put in the wiring, everything for a pool, right? To a 120-volt line, did all the work and everything. I didn't pay him a dime, but I went over to his house and I built him a deck that was cement
There you go.
around his pool.
Yes.
I mean, it's brilliant. I think that is something
Yeah.
that is gradually no longer common within the community, and that is something that would be very good if we apply in our health as well as other aspects of life, because it really increases that human socialization as human beings and overall holistic lifestyle, which is the theme of that you discussed today with all of us. So I mean, that is just so relatable. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
Absolutely. And that situation is making a comeback, Sister Kanda. I see all this place about community gardens. I just don't want to be actual gardener, but we all, as I said before, have something that we all have something. Yeah, I know, I hear you, brother. But we all have something that we can contribute. I remember when I opened an employment agency at one time, and how many people did you to write letters for them because they could not write them or whatever it is. So there's always something you can do in in exchange for what you're going to get. If it's food that you need, you write up their receipts. You know what I mean? You do it. Because every one of us, that's why we're leaders. We're all leaders. We have something that we can give. And so it's very hopeful to me that we're coming back with those ideas that you give what you can, and we see how it works out, because we have to really sorry. Even with the processed foods, I was looking at the difference for instance, the UK and the United States. The difference they're allowing in ketchup. It's about 20 ingredients in the ketchup in the United States, and they're all things you can't even pronounce. And in the UK, they have about 6. Right, it's the same brand. It's the same brand.
Exactly.
Why would that happen? Why?
Yes.
Why? It has to be a reason, right? And as Dr.
So they can throw biochemicals in your body off so that you get sick, so they can then sell you the drugs to make you better.
And look how expensive healthcare is in the US. You right?
Correct.
So it's a double whammy. They make you sick, and then you have to pay through the nose to get well. It's ridiculous if you even do that. You know?
Yeah.
So yes, I looked at the bottle and I thought, this is the same brand. Why the difference? Why the difference? So yes, so that's one.
It's amazing. And what brought this thought to me, because I was with one of my sisters who is planning to do a little garden for vegetables when the spring comes around, and we were trying to look at the different forms of the soil, what to buy, which of the fertilizer or the chemicals to use, which one is good. And you realize that even the soil that you need to use to help grow the vegetable, it has become a monetary kind of thing, where sometimes what you put in there, the food germinates, grows up, and you look at it and you say, but is this how it's supposed to look? This is not what you know. But the chemicals have been pumped in there, and you are like, oh my goodness, I just want something natural, the closest it can be to feel healthy, just to enhance the soil, but not instead introducing more chemicals to the soil that it takes away from the food that you are growing. And then you take the food again and you eat, and you still have the same food nutrients of food entering your body. So yes, that really is something that we all need to learn. And if you don't know, check with your neighbor who may be a farmer, check with others that are, who know what they are doing. Always. I mean, it's always good to check with someone or ask before you go ahead and buy, because nobody knows everything. And in that way, also sharing information that is useful and the best.
Exactly.
Yes, for our health.
Thank you.
So, all right. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. That is it for me for now.
Thank you. Queenie, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, because Brother Alan has his hand.
Yes, please. Thank you so much, Queen Kala. We appreciate you. Thank you for your support. and your dedication towards this company. Mr. Allen, could you please proceed with your question or your excitement, please?
Just a comment on the fertilizer that Colonel was talking about. One of the things that I did, I went to one of the coffee shops and asked them for the coffee grounds, which is very good as a fertilizer. People don't realize that. You can actually use coffee grounds that you get from Starbucks or one of the other coffee people, and you go and say, can you give me you take your own container and they lift, if you tell to come back the following day and they fill up the coffee grounds and then you just put it into the soil as a fertilizer.
Oh, thank you for that. Coffee ground as a fertilizer. Okay.
I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, it is.
They give it for free anyway. They were only too glad to get rid of it.
Okay. Thank you. Queen Benny? Hello?
Incidentally, I'm going to have to log off here in just a little bit.
We appreciate you, Dr. Brother. We know you have your Sunday afternoon well, it's afternoon. Where are you anyways? What is your time there?
It's 3:45.
Oh, same here then. So we're on the same time, Eastern Standard Time, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate you. We know you have your honey-do list.
Well, I thought, I better stay here the afternoon. I was so late and I'm so thankful, Dr. P, you gave me a call.
No, this has turned out to be really wonderful. Thank you so much. Very eye-opening. And I think this is one of our main things right now, because as I keep saying, quality of life is very important. And who was saying something about dialysis 3 times a week? What really? I mean, if you have to, you have to. But we're saying try to mitigate against that. Try to make that not be your portion, as the Bible says, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much. You've given us a lot of hope here. I love the positivity of it. Because I mean, as I said, I tend to be on the more melancholy side, and I can think, where do you
Can I
start?
also say thank you?
Oh,
Yes,
sorry. Go ahead.
let me proceed.
Go ahead.
Continue to be the moderator, sister.
No,
please.
No, I just wanted to. No, I'm not moderating. I just wanted to appreciate everyone. I've heard a lot of voices from Sister Imelda to Dr. P, who chimed in, to Sister Marie Pendy, Dr. Derek, Dr. John, and our guest of honor finally made it. Dr. Jeffrey, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold my phone in such a way that you can see me, but I don't know if I'm succeeding to fail or succeeding to succeed.
We see you. You're moving a bit, but we see you.
My computer died on me anyway, so I'm hanging on to my phone. But thank you so, so, so much. And please stay warm. I appreciate you all. I don't want to tell you the weather where I am because you'll be all too envious, but just stay warm and healthy. All those tips about how to stay healthy, and especially knowing that what is it, the dye number 3 that has been banned, that is a killer thing that has been banned over the decades, and people have been ignoring it. I hope it helps us to improve in our lifestyles as we move forward. Brother Jeffrey, thank you so much. Awesome. Listen, there's something we say. It's better you show up than not show up. The 100% that you showed up is what we received from you. That's why we're still on the platform right now. So thank you. Thank you. I didn't even know how I was going to hang on with my phone, tiny little phone in my hand, but I was able to hang on. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. Thank you for your time, and tell your better half that we appreciate her sharing you with us today. Thank you. Thank you. And spring it around, I know, what do they call it? Valentine's Day is here, and before you know it, Easter will be here. So you just keep, the process goes on, and you keep getting younger and younger and younger. Look at this smile you have glowing on your face. Thank you so much. We love you, dear.
I think that Zoom does something good for me because I don't look this good in real life.
I appreciate everything so much. So I'm going to pause here and pass it back to the lovely team and Brother Jeffrey.
Have a blessed Sunday, and thank you once more. Thank you, Sister Yvonne.
Thank you,
Before you guys get going again, if I can put a shameful plug in here, I'm working on a video that is probably going to rock your socks.
Oh,
It's going to be something that when it comes out in the next day or two, I'm talking last August and September and maybe even after that. I basically said, look, guy, we're all I know what everybody's all excited about with Unpassive, but I'm telling you that's not going to happen until after the new year. A new administration coming in here. Wait for that, because when that happens, all sorts of things are going to start to happen. We're there. We've seen what's happened here in America over the last week, and I'm doing a video that outlines a great many of these new changes, and it goes into after Trump, President Trump's executive orders for de-weaponizing the regulatory agencies here in the US, and I talk about that specifically. I tie it together with Unpassive, and I share some information that you folks don't know anything about that has been happening and where we're going. And there will be a call to action. And I'm not kidding when I say, as Unpassive, as people in general, we've always got a choice. But and we're powerful in that way. As Unpassivians, we are powerful and we've got a voice. And I'm going to be calling on that. And I think you guys will really enjoy this video. I think you really will. So keep an eye out for it. It's coming.
oh, that's very good. No peak preview, no positive, negative.
No,
No.
well, it's not done yet, and it's a collaboration.
Okay,
So
all right. I get that.
I think
yes.
I think it's be good though. It's just plain speak in your face. I'm not a politician. I'm not somebody that is afraid to say, if it walks like a duck and looks like a duck, my guess is I'm looking at a duck. So, that's kind of how I am. But I think you'll enjoy it. And I appreciate you letting me kind of preface that on this YouTube streaming. So thank you.
Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. Something to look forward to. Thank you.
Yeah.
Queen Benny?
All right. I want to thank Brother Jeffrey for what he has done and what he will continue to do. Thank you, Queen Debbie, for coming. Thank you for the topic. But before we leave, I would like Brother Jeffrey to give us his closing remarks for today. Thank you so much, sir.
It would be my pleasure. It's really pretty easy. 2025 is it's going to be the beginning of I would term, as even I think Trump is called, the golden age. We've been looking for this. We've been looking. When I put the E out and I said the paradigm shift that is Unpassive, I was saying here's a company that's going the way of the world. They lead the world in essence in this shift that is happening economically and globally around the world. It's a shift in everything that we're doing, and you can see it because there are systematic changes happening to all the systems in the world, whether you're talking medical or political or industrial or educational or whatever. Everything is going to central is on the crest of that. We got hammered, we got beat up, we got pummeled, we got roadblocks, whatever you want to call it. We got hurt last year, and we're in a recovery phase right now. But 2025 is going to be the year we see so many things happening. Health is huge. Health is absolutely huge. But we're going to see a lot of advancements in health. We're going to see a lot of advancements in medicine. We're going to see a lot of advancements in energy and a lot of advancements that people don't even know exist that are going to start coming out. When Unpassive comes back online, I don't know what it's going to look like, to be honest with you. It's not going to look like we originally thought 3 or 4 years ago. It's going to be a different animal, but it's going to be a good animal, and it's going to have the same values and have the same goals and vision that the other ones, right? Get out, you do what's right because it's right, you be the correction to the corruption, and you lift humanity. That's what we're here for. That's what it's about. It's not about anything else. That's who we are, and everything that we do goes toward that vision. So hang on to your hats. This is an exciting year. It's a great time to be alive. And I am telling you what, I think you're really going to enjoy this year. So thank you. I appreciate this platform, the opportunity to speak. The topics are not only appropriate, but absolutely relevant, and you guys are on top of it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much, Brother Jeffrey, for coming.
Thank you.
Like I stated, you will come back next month. Hopefully, Sister Debbie will bring you especially.
You'll get on me. She'll keep me. You'll keep me in line.
The health is very important.
Yeah.
People don't understand.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes. Yeah.
So I just want to appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I believe I'm going to hand it over to the host for tonight. Dr. Patient, are you available?
Derek?
And because their great grandmother and their great grandparents and their parents doing this, so they just follow through. However, it is incumbent upon each and every one of us to consult the the manual for the human anatomy, because there is a manual, and that manual is the Word, the Bible, the Holy Scripture, whatever you want to call it. Whether you believe or you don't believe, whether you're a Christian or atheist or a Buddhist, the manual, it's only one manual. Because I'm sure if a Buddhist or a Confucianist buy a car, he got to consult that one manual also. So there's only one manual for the human body. And that's the Word, the Bible, the Holy Scripture. Because the Creator, whether you want to believe that it is the Creator, there's only one Creator, and that's God. And the Creator God, created us in a way that He gives us a manual that tells us exactly what to put in the body for optimal duration. And so when you turn to Genesis 1:29, Genesis 1:29 tells us what to put in our body. And it started out with nuts, grains, fruits, and the tree of life. And then vegetable for the animals, the wild beasts. Unfortunately, sin came into the picture. Disobedience came into the picture. We were barred from the tree of life as human beings. And so vegetable was our herbs, vegetable was added to our diet. Unfortunately, man was just disobedient continuously, and so there was a flood. And so God, in his wisdom, added flesh, not meat. Genesis 1:29 tell us what is meat: nuts, grains, fruits, and vegetable is meat. Genesis 1:29. So in Genesis 7, God added flesh. But this is a stipulation, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about flesh. Leviticus 3:16 tells us that the life is in the blood. And so the problem is when we consume blood, listen carefully, when we consume blood, that is where the issue is. Not the flesh, the blood. So read up on that or study that. Blood is what transmits disease from one animal to another animal. The blood, not the flesh, the blood. And that is why to consume fat from animal and blood from animal. So let us add that to our studies, because that is the major problem why there are so many diseases that is flying from one person to another person and one animal to another. So please, as I said over and over, I have been eating the way God tells me to eat by choice, not forcing anyone, because everything in life is by choice. And so I don't have to ask any doctor anything. I don't have to ask any you call him again, medical person. What's the food and drug food and drug administrator that preside over
FDA.
what the country
FDA.
eats.
FDA. Yeah.
FDA, right?
Mhm.
I don't have to. I personally don't have to listen to them because I know where to get the proper information. And so let us recognize that we have the power. We have the power to choose. And that is why over and over in the Word, in the Bible, in Holy Scriptures, choose this day whom you will serve. Because it's only two choices. It's either you do your own thing or you do what God is asking us to do in love. It's just two choices, really and truly. It's not many choices. All right? So let us really, if we really, want to know exactly where to go and how to go about what to do, it's right there in scriptures, right?
Derek, may I say
Exodus.
something, please? Because
I come in.
you've skipped over the entire New Testament where he said, "Don't call anything that I've made clean unclean." I don't understand why you never go there. How do you not go there?
Queen Yvonne, I did not mention
Yes, sir.
unclean out of my mouth since I started to speak. I didn't.
I
So
understand, but you
no,
skipped
hold
what the
on,
New
hold
Testament
on,
said.
hold on, hold on,
Go
Queen
there.
Yvonne,
I don't
Queen
understand.
Yvonne, Queen Yvonne.
Yes, sir.
Again,
Yes. Yes,
I have
sir.
allowed everyone to talk and talk and talk throughout the whole meeting.
It's true.
I am now
Yes.
speaking. So allow me to finish, first of all.
Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry, but
Yes,
I had to.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Allow me to finish. And I've not mentioned anything about clean and unclean. My focus was never or is never on whatever is clean or unclean. My focus is the blood.
Okay.
And the blood, whether you want to talk about clean and unclean and dive into all of that, that's not my focus. Whether it is clean or it is unclean, the consuming of blood is where the problem is. That's the major problem.
Okay.
And that is why God says that we are to not to eat blood. And so I've not mentioned anything about clean and unclean flesh. That's not my focus. That's where people start to get very antsy. So I'm not focusing on that, and I didn't mention that. I didn't even talk about that. That's neither here nor there for me. What is important is that blood is what we are not to consume. And that's by choice. Again, that's by choice. If you want to continue, thumbs up. That's all right. I'm just letting you know that just like when you purchase a car and you will not put a two-stroke engine oil in your four-stroke or six-stroke engine, you just not do that. You'd not put gasoline in a diesel vehicle or diesel in a gasoline. And you'll not put kerosene oil in any vehicle. I am saying to you that although you can, and people do, but there's a consequence. And I'm saying that the consequence of consuming blood in our diet, in our bodies, has reached a havoc in every walk of life. Not just one place or two places. Everywhere you go, persons that consume blood, we see that it's a problem. And that's why there's only 5 blue zones. 5 blue zones. And yes, some of them do consume some amount of flesh, definitely. But if we focus on one blue zone, which is in Loma Linda, on the soil of the USA, they are not by any means and one type of persons in terms of culture. It's a variety of culture that is at Loma Linda. Other blue zones is based on culture. But this one particular blue zone, which is only 5 of them, it's different cultures. But the one thing that is indigenous is the type of lifestyle that they are privy to or follow. And these people live to 100 plus without any pain, any diabetes, any whatever you name all these sicknesses. Exodus 3 16. If you live according to my laws, statutes, I will not allow any of the diseases to come upon you that came upon the Egyptian. And when we look, it's the same diseases back then, is the same diseases we are having today. Nothing changed. Why? because in the Egyptian diet, they consume blood. In our diet today, we consume blood. And blood is in clean animals, and blood is in unclean animals. So I am not talking about no clean and unclean. I am talking about blood. All right? We are not to consume blood. That's the bottom line. But it's a choice. All right? We do thank you all very much. Really appreciate King Dr. John. Thank you very much for that wonderful mindset. I'm not sure that I hear your final comment. I know I heard King Jeffrey final comment, but before we close, if King here, do you want to present your closing remarks, please? King Dr. John, if you are still in the house. Okay, once, twice. All right, I think we may be departed from the webinar. Okay, all right, wonderful. I think he's still here, but I think I saw him. Anyway, all right, wonderful. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate. Want to thank all our welcome team. Want to thank all our moderators. Want to thank all our updates. Want to thank all our question and discussion. Want to thank our two main presenters, King Dr. John and of course King Jeffrey Morlock. I want to thank everyone for coming here, all our kings and queens in the house that is here. We do thank you for making it Dream Team. We also want to thank all those that are on the social media platform, especially on YouTube, hitting almost 200. Want to thank you for making it Dream Team on your wonderful Sunday afternoon, wherever you are on your Sunday, or it could be Monday morning. We want to thank you for making it Dream Team. Next week, Sunday, it will be the Dream Team once again at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you are here again, we have another wonderful, lively presentation just tailor-made for you. Tomorrow, Mindset Monday, Queen Miriam, check her out. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wonderful presentation. A young man will be there that left corporate America, was doing well in the financial sector, and he patented his own system. So you might be able to find out how, and you will, not might be, you will be able to find out how did he do it, what did he do, and how he made that move. Just like Jeff Bezos or, or one of those giants, Microsoft man, or, Bill Gates, or one of them, left corporate America and went into his own thing, patented forward as an entrepreneur. All right, we definitely go into another bias section with Queen Kanla, unconscious bias, and then we do have every day of the week, Monday to Friday, the twin fin, the twin Yvonne, twin Yvonne, Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn. The twin Yvonne will take you every single day, Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, and we are going to move it in that direction throughout the week. And then, of course, Thursday morning, we do have the one and only Singapore, Malaysia, all the way over the east, right? Or west, okay, east. Singapore and Malaysia with O Passion, right? And that's early in the morning Eastern, 8 p.m., 8 a.m., sorry, 8 p.m. Singapore time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check them out. All right. And Julie Pierre, Wednesday. Julie Pierre, Wednesday in the evening, in the PM, 8 p.m. Julie Pierre will meet you with lifting up humanity. So all throughout the week, tune into something. Keep your mindset in the right direction. Tune it into the right direction because we have it right here in Dream Team Deep Dive, Singapore, Malaysia, Mindset Monday, Lift Up Humanity, and of course, Queen Dr. Yvonne and Yvonne Finn, the twin Yvonne, licking you left, right, and center the entire week. Thank you all very much for making it Dream Team. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really appreciate you coming here and investing this time with us. Thank you all very much. And those on YouTube, we are going to shut it down at this time, and so that we can maybe say our final greetings and so on, and hi and hello and so on, so that you can go ahead and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care, peace, blessings, and enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love.
It to win it.